Welcome to the Code Talk Evening Show. I'm your host, Victor Vincent, and alongside me, I have none other than the other artist, Antoine Christopher. What's up, man? How you doing? You still got that dead chair?
I'm getting a new one too. I am getting a new one.
That chair has arthritis, man. Let's just go ahead and just retire it where it needs to be, man. So that's kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So what else you got going on, man? What have I missed since last week?
What did you miss? Nothing really, man. You're pretty on the ball with this stuff. So I know, you know what? I gotta leave it up to you. You're on the ball with keeping up on track and everything.
Yeah, I'm talking about in your regular life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
man. So my prints are ready.
Okay.
My artwork. Really excited about that because I've been getting a lot of requests about prints and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that, and that's all I've been working on with the t-shirts on the other side of me. Little shout out to my boy that helped me do that.
Word.
And check out Moonwalk Legacy. Moonwalk Legacy. Arvin. Oh man, I hope I get his last name right. Streely. Anyway, he has the largest Michael Jackson webpage in the world.
Really?
Yeah. And he's going to come out with some t-shirts soon of my artwork on it, which I'm really excited for him.
Man, you always have something going on, you know, where where like you got like some unique connections, you know what I'm saying? So what else you got going on, you know, coming up?
And I got I'm investing in water.
Oh, well, that's a good investment always, you know what I'm saying?
I'm only doing the logo on it, and it's vitamin water. And since I'm so into the gym and working out, I figured it's a good thing to try it out. You never know.
Word. Man, yeah. You can't
go wrong with water. That's one thing people always need.
Nah, you can't go wrong with water, you know, like you just can't miss.
Nope.
Nah, so what else?
That's it, bro.
Nothing else coming up for the spring, you know what I'm saying? With all of this, you know what I'm saying, the change of season and everything else, what's going on?
Man, you know, I wish I could tell you something more exciting. I mean, the hunting will be better.
Yeah.
The rain is going away. Hunting will definitely be better. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm looking forward to that, man. I am looking forward to that.
Don't mind me. I'm over here doing some engineering stuff, man, trying to get our stream out to as many locations as possible. Got a couple different groups that we can, you know, do some networking out of and everything. So it's a good thing that like we get people to, you know what I'm saying, pick up and pay attention.
Yeah. This is gonna be the greatest show ever.
This one right here?
Because we are solution-based, people.
Hey, look, tell them.
Don't talk about the ratchet shit and the war that's going on between the black man and black woman and all that crap. We don't pay attention to that. We're talking code talk, responsible people willing to make responsible changes that need to be done, and you're calling out your own shit.
Man, you know,
being honest Right.
That's it in essence, man. You know, I didn't know how we would you know, I knew we would work well together because we already have,
Yep.
we already have been working well together. I just didn't know what it would look like, but I knew it was going to be worth doing. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for showing up every
Likewise.
week. Yeah, even though you know, like we have.
Having me.
What's up?
Appreciate you having me, wanting to do this with me.
Oh man, this is the fun stuff.
The wave that was started on Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to end, and I feel like I personally have a lot to say on the topics that matter, and I think that with a little experience that I have in the area, I can at least guide somebody in the right direction. I believe I can do that. And at my age, I've made mistakes already, so you're never too. You know, I'm one of the guys that I can admit my fault, but if I'm wrong, I don't want to hear I feel like. I want to hear why I'm wrong, why you feel I'm wrong, and then just because doesn't cut it.
Yeah,
you gotta actually form a sentence and tell me why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you don't like me. My job is not for you to like me because I really don't know you, and I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I don't want to know anybody. I really don't. I really don't want to know anybody. I'm not into that. I don't care if you like me, don't like me. I get enough made fun of anyway. So, yeah, I don't really care. I don't know you. You're a guy. You're a keyboard warrior typing on the internet. So what? You have no effect to me. But if you're gonna have a conversation with me, I'm telling you, cross your T's, dot your I's, because you're gonna need that. I'm intelligent. I know my stuff, and I form a sentence. Yeah, and I know big words when I need to use them.
You know big words when you need to use them, huh?
Yep. So that's all I'm saying. And that I want this station to be solution based because I've made mistakes that I know everybody has made. Rather it be in love, career, and I'm still making the ones in career because I don't listen too good. But I really don't. I really don't. You know, that scarcity mindset of not wanting to take chances, and you know, I'm like that sometimes. And I know a lot of people are like that. They like the number in the bank, but not the number they want to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I get it. And you know, the mentors that I have in my life are still trying to push me over the edge to say, do it like this, do it like this. And I'm the stubborn one. So
yeah. And you know, I like the way you kind of like open the show. We drive home the solutions based conversation on a regular basis, obviously.
That's how you fix it. But you have to come, you fix it like what you're saying, Vic, but you have to come with not your feelings, but actually facts and things that matter.
Yeah. You got to be able to,
I'm not here to fix your feelings. That's really don't care about that part.
Yeah, you can't fix really nobody's feelings. I mean, you know, like that's what, you know, like what we always talk about, you know, that's what therapy is for. And I think a lot of things have just been changing, you know, in recent months. Like this, I think this year is just going by so fast, man. Like,
dude, we're already Easter, man.
Yeah,
like Easter already.
Yeah, it's already come and gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, you know, where we are in terms of time, you know, we don't have any to waste.
We don't, man.
We really don't, man. Like, are you feeling like
we still have no time to waste? It's so funny.
Are you feeling like you've been experiencing like maybe a little weird sense of urgency about things that you
like? Oh no.
Yeah.
The problem is when you're young, you think of the future. When you're my age, you think of the present and what you need to build on and how much you didn't do. Freak me out, man. Yeah, I'm always pressured, but I think men should always be pressured. That's how they move their ass.
Yeah.
You know? I think we should always be pressured as men. I don't think we should settle. I don't think we should be content. All that, you know, leave it to beaver bullshit. I don't think anything should be like that. Yeah. I think men always should seek to be the provider, live the best life possible. Party when you have the money to party, you know, be disciplined about staying home when you can't afford to go out, you know. Yeah. And I think all men should seek towards getting married, even though, you know, things say otherwise. I think you should not let that scare you.
Yeah. I was thinking about like, you know, like how do we grow the conversation and really make it attractive for people to come share the things that they've overcome, because like we got to start hearing like real world experience. You know what I'm saying? Because the title of the show is Solutions Over Delusions, right?
Too many
So,
people live in delusion.
and too many people,
I used to live in delusion.
yeah, too many people live in delusion. You know what I'm saying? And you live in delusion. Like you've heard me say, people live in their feelings until they meet the facts. That's really what it is. You go from like living in delusion. You don't know how delusional you were, even if you was just making a mistake.
Yeah.
But all you're doing is operating in the world based on the information that you was raised with. And then you're comparing that, like the way that you was raised, from interaction to interaction, to see if what you were taught is applicable. And you quickly see that a lot of the stuff that you was raised with,
right,
it just doesn't reflect in the relationships that you go out and you try to cultivate. You got to really meet people where they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially if you have to work with them. Like that's one of the things that I learned about, you know what I'm saying, working with you, is like, think about what our first interaction was like when Garfield put us on the same thing. And I'm like, why is he so defensive? You know what I'm saying?
Defensive. I was just that. I don't believe in defense. I believe in standing your ground.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is like that's exactly what being defensive is. You know what I'm saying? When you stand your ground.
Really. Defensive to me, I'll even
tell me what, like, how do you dissect
the defensive to me is when you're trying to prove to other people what you're saying or what you're trying to acknowledge. But when you're standing your ground firm on what you believe, that's not defensive. That's just making sure you're articulate enough to listen, you could say what you want, but over here, this is what I'm saying and this is what I believe. Defensive is countering and proving, and that I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay. Look, I can accept that because everybody has an intelligent interpretation of the words that they use. And depending on what side of the conversation you're on, it's going to sound defensive, but it may not be.
Right.
So in terms of like my experience prior to, you know what I'm saying, actually talking to you, the way that, like that you would respond to certain topics, it was almost like in anticipation of conflict. And that's the only reason why I say it was defensive, you know what I'm saying? But based on where I was, you know what I'm saying, and sit back trying to figure out what your communication style was, I kind of just let things, you know what I'm saying, go. That's why, like, over a period of almost 3 years, I let you say what you needed to say, because
I admit it, even myself, I could admit like I was in a sense holding my ground too firmly instead of opening up the possibility of someone else's opinion.
And I think that
then again, I think I've been shaped like that because of social media too.
And that's fair. And that's what I'm saying is like ultimately being defensive or being unreceptive, that's really what it is. If you're being defensive, you're prepared to respond, prepared to counter, like you said. I agree with that, but when you're talking, anybody that's talking is definitely not listening because you're the one talking, right? So you can't digest, like the communication style of the other person, and you got to figure out where you have more tools than the other person, and that's when you give grace versus having more tools and then using your ego to obliterate said person's, you know what I'm saying, like you obliterate their receptiveness to you. And then even if you're well-meaning, if your delivery method is off, then men can't communicate with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think that generally speaking, men have a better perception that, hey, Antoine's a good person. He don't mean any harm to anything that I'm doing, and this is just once a week. Let me sit back and figure out and study, like where his strong points are, where can I learn how to, relate to what he understands, because we all have a different perception. And then the thing is, where I can't relate, that's why I ask a question. I just let you talk, you know what I'm saying? Because I get something still from it. We all got something, you know what I'm saying, cooking in the, you know what I'm saying, in the back of our minds of what we want to accomplish and we believe that we got the right people in our lives. So you got to let people talk sometimes.
Yeah, I believe like we all interpret what we want to interpret, and I think that it's how we all have our own delivery, and how receptive we can be to other people and what they're saying. Like,
Mhm.
that whole listen to respond thing, like that. Sometimes
Yeah,
that takes over a person.
yeah,
I believe, like, I'm always learning. I'm always willing to learn. I don't care if somebody, if you're not always willing to learn, or think if your cup is full, you have no need to, I have no reason to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. If
yeah.
somebody's cup is so full,
They don't have.
why am I going to talk to you? You're acting like you can't learn nothing, but you got life figured out. Great for you, but but there's a lot that I see. You being the way you are shows me how empty your cup is.
Yeah, you got to let people pour all of they. You know what I'm saying? They whatever it is. People got full cups, and truthfully, I believe that at some stage in your life, you don't necessarily feel sorry for anyone, and you don't necessarily say, you know what, I can crush this particular person because I want to be combative.
Right.
I think at some point, if you care about solutions, patience has to be part of your communication.
Right.
And uh, and I appreciate the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you was taking seriously, you know what I'm saying, what I was trying to do, and giving me a chance to, you know what I'm saying, say, hey, there's room for you to, you know what I'm saying, to work on this platform and,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, help convey the message, because we represent, you know what I'm saying, we represent two different, you know what I'm saying, forms of life, two different backgrounds and everything.
Man,
You know what I'm
I'm not
saying?
ashamed to say I stand by
And
everything I say. And if I don't know, I don't know. I'm going to tell
yeah.
you I don't know. I'll give my opinion on something I don't know, but I'm not going to state it
Hmm.
as a fact. And I
Right.
don't care if somebody has. I think if other people have their own facts, that's fine. But somewhere in the middle is the truth, right?
Yeah. So let's move into the portion of, you know, the solutions versus the delusions, because, you know, like you started off earlier saying, you know, we're not having any more, we're not participating in the gender conflicts. I've had a
I'm
couple.
not doing that.
So what I've been really focused on, because it can't do anything about women, like, you know what I'm saying, like, men don't own anyone. We don't want to be controlled ourselves. So it's unrealistic for us to think that our few keyboard messages or text messages, you know what I'm saying, in the comment section on pick a topic, is going to really affect anybody that's not willing to change their behavior. So um now
I think
that
you saying that is true, because I think too many men um, try to say they want to lead a relationship, but there's no such thing as leading a relationship. You're in a relationship, it's 50-50. When I say 50-50, yes, you're the man, you know your role, you have the last word, but in the 50-50 part is you still have to hear that person out 100% of the time.
so when you're talking about 50-50 right now, you're talking about the emotional aspect.
Yeah, I think the
Okay.
decision making in the household,
Okay, so good. Like I today, right?
and not even in a household, let's say relationship.
So this is what I want to do today.
Hmm.
Um, if we let's talk about the delusions that are associated with 50-50, and take out all of the assets, all of the money, the cars, the jobs, the kids, all of that, right? And let's just talk solely about the energy of the 50-50 relationship, because everybody's been talking about so and so got to make this kind of money, you got to have this kind of money to get this type of chick, this you got to have these assets to have this kind of life. But like the truth is that nobody's talking about the emotional component of you know what I'm saying, why people can and cannot connect. And
Okay, but let's be realistic. The delusion of
that's
what
why
people,
solution versus
yeah,
delusion.
the delusion is what people claim they make or what they have. That's the possession material. I don't believe none of that shit, right? Because when people tell me, oh, they want, they're making 120K, you're making 11,000 a month, really? Okay, yeah, okay. That's not chump change. What do you do? Well, I do this, and I'm like, bro, come on. A doctor makes 11,000 a month, and that's beyond his investments and what he's got allocated and all over the place. You ain't making that shit. If the average person makes 42 or 47,000 a year, where's every time you go online you hear people saying they make over 80 to 100K? It's not. That's the delusion in it, right?
Okay.
I don't want to talk from that point because I know you kind of assess that that's not. If you have to bring it up, then you know you're bullshitting because you wouldn't have to justify that. You would just be. That's how I see things.
I got you.
So, and as far as the emotional and the coming together in a relationship, I don't see how men could say that's one-sided. Like it's not 50-50. Like I don't understand. When you tell me if I'm going to ask a woman what she brings to the table in a relationship, I better let her know what I bring too, right? And it better not be, well, I'm going to be a provider. You can't even provide for yourself right now. So you ain't going to be no massive provider. You're still asking her to come together with her paycheck and build a home. You are. I don't care what you tell me, you are. And it's not about you taking her paycheck and allocating where the money goes. That's stupid talk. Because if I was a woman, I wouldn't give you my paycheck anyways. I know what the bills are. I ain't stupid.
Hey, but this is the thing, though. You have said that if we're going 50-50, I'm taking a paycheck.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm taking what I need to do in order to get my bills done. What do you mean? Of course. When I say take her paycheck, I'm meaning she will be paying. She will be paying. When I say I'm not physically taking her paycheck, I'm just telling her this is what the bill is.
Yeah, you just letting her know
what the bill is. Like if you want to go on an extravagant vacation, I know I can afford it. But if you're coming with me, this is what it's going to cost you. Now, if you're short on some areas, I don't mind pitching in. But if I've been living this lifestyle for one and you're coming into it, now everything goes up. My water bill goes up. Definitely my light bill with women. God damn, you guys need a light for everything. You know what I mean? Things change. So if that dynamic changes, she has to see where she fits in with it. And it's only the right thing to do. I'm not going to put the stress of paying for your shit on my head when I was living peacefully without you.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So,
and if you really want my bills, you're going to dish. You really want to go? You're going to dish over here because it's big. You're going to dish. If you really want to go like that mindset, okay, let's do it. But I'm sure you wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
The average dinner, what? The average dinner costs $100 plus. The average dinner to go out and eat, unless you go to Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Yeah, man, I tell you, it costs about $150.
The average dinner. So if I'm going to take you out, you want to
for a couple? Yeah, generally speaking, a couple drinks, and a dinner. I mean, I that's just the truth, So,
it is.
So here's the thing, like this is good because we get to revisit things that we've said and talked about, right? When we talked about the ideal getaway weekend and the budget, right? So when you were talking about what $350 in Vegas or $500, whatever, raising your budget.
Yeah, depending on where it is.
I know you was being like seriously and facetious at the same time, for the most part, because you're crazy. Like hell, ain't no way in hell you can go to Vegas on $350 to $500.
You can. I live here. I go to Vegas. I know. It depends on what you want to do. What you want to eat at the Bellagio every night?
What I'm saying is, if you did it on a constrained budget, you could absolutely go to Vegas on $500. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't gamble. If you got like you could spend $200 on tickets to Cirque du Soleil. You know what I'm saying? And then you got quite a few huge buffets down there. You know what I'm saying? That are pretty affordable. Dude,
it's not like
it's food everywhere in Vegas. You know what
everywhere. I'm saying? Believe me, you'll find a big steak and egg breakfast for $6-7 easily. So everything isn't about this trip, Yeah,
I get that, and I know that you can you can coupon your way to Vegas. I understand why you were saying that. Like
depending on the day you book, a room is sometimes $80-$90, depending on the day you book.
Yeah.
If you're not going for any special occasion and you need a weekend, go during the week. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it all depends on who you're with and what you're trying to do for those days off. If you're going there for an event, obviously it's gonna cost you more money.
Man,
I want to actually clarify something too.
Yeah.
Because and I said this last week. I think it was last week or whenever I said about fat women get broke guys, right? And when I say fat women get broke guys, this is what I'm trying to say. Well-to-do men aren't going after the fat women. They can do better and they can afford better because they will get better, right? I don't know about you, the guys that I know that make good money. If you see the type of women that step out of their car, they're not over 120, 130 max. And when I was referring to that, you would more likely see guys that are in a financial tax bracket going after the women that are in that tax bracket.
You know what? This is good, Antoine, because you get to clarify some of the things and some of your talking points. Because I know you say stuff that is, you get right to the meat and potatoes of it.
That's it.
You start at the end. You state what the outcome is going to be from the jump. And sometimes I don't think that you get a chance to really clarify some of the statements that you make.
Right.
And so, like, that's kind of what I want to, like, because some people are going to think that you're delusional.
Okay, if I'm delusional, where?
Yeah, like, and that's what I was about to say. Like, that's the questions that we get to ask. You know what I'm saying? The audience.
You need to tell me where.
Yeah, and then tell you where.
There you go. If you know a fat girl that with a guy making over 100K, you need to show receipts on that, because I can guarantee you that's not a man's first choice. And if a man's telling you that, it's because he wants to sleep with you. He wants to. It's like sushi. Once in a while, you want to eat it, but you can't have it every day. That's all I'm saying, and that's all I'm trying to be realistic about. When a girl tells me she wants a guy making 100K, I ask her, "Do you know how much that is monthly?" No. Then you have no concept of money.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to stop for a second and interrupt. We got backstage. My man Cavi, and he's getting ready to come to the discussion. We want to see what he got to talk about and add to the conversation.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. What about you guys? You guys doing okay?
Yeah. What's going on in the background, man? Turn that off. Oh man, we lost him.
You lost him. I didn't do nothing over here.
Yeah,
you know me. I'm illiterate when it comes to that stuff.
Nah, I think he's switching. I think he's switching devices. Yeah, I know you. But man, I just asked him, was he ready? Then he come in and then he pop out. He probably got
oh shit!
Look at you. Everybody want to abandon ship? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Y'all just want to be technically difficult?
Nah, I'm still here. I just had to put something fell on the floor. I was trying to get it back.
Yeah, like.
All right, go ahead and put me back in. All right, what's going on here? All right, you got a side by side. I see. Can you?
I'm in the moderator spot today.
I got you. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Cavi, what's good, man?
Oh man, everything's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Having a good day, man. Just got finished making my money, making my rounds and everything. So I saw you guys pull up just now, and I was like, hey man, let's go ahead and get on with these guys and see what they're talking about. Antoine, is it Anton? Antoine. Okay, Antoine. You were talking about. I didn't want to interrupt your conversation. You were talking about fat chicks not getting rich dudes. Go ahead and continue.
And generally, right?
Right.
Generally.
Uh-huh.
Generally, we're talking generally, right?
Okay.
That's fair to say. Generally, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like if you look at it the same way that you would look at a younger woman in her prime. You know what I'm saying? She's going to go for the best looking man. I mean, can we agree on that?
100%, and she should.
Yeah, absolutely.
She should cash in on her looks. Absolutely. Right. I'm hoping she has some brains with it, but she should cash in on her looks.
All right, where were you guys going with that conversation?
No, I was just clearing up some things that I've said previously, because I don't want people to think that, it's so easy. People come on it with their lingo and the talking points of you're bashing, and I don't even know what that word means, but anyway.
Oh, they were saying that you're female bashing? Is that what it is?
You know how people talk about, body shaming and all that shit when body shaming is just telling the truth. right?
Right.
Now, if it didn't relate to you, you wouldn't care less,
Absolutely not.
right?
Absolutely
So if
not.
somebody, like, I'm not the tallest guy, I keep telling Vic, looks and height goes out the window when you're standing on your wallet. So I don't have that issue. I don't. But if I was a short guy and broke, I mean, Kevin Hart wouldn't be Kevin Hart if he had no money.
This is very true.
Okay, I'm just being, and in the real world, if the average man is making 42 or 47, whatever that statistic is, you can't expect to lead with that.
Right. Okay.
And when I say lead, meaning pay all of her bills, you're not making enough for that because you still got to pay a mortgage or rent.
Right.
So when people, and the average person on the internet will talk about, I need to lead my woman, she needs to be submissive. Why would a woman be submissive to $47,000 a year? Are you stupid? Like, who? If I was a woman, I wouldn't be submissive to $47,000 a year. I wouldn't use that word, period, because I don't even like that word. That's right up there with slavery to me. If you tell a girl you be submissive to me,
okay,
right? Okay. That's really a condescending word. That's like a woman telling me I have to be a provider for her. I have to take care of her. No woman should say it like that to a man, because the man will look at you and go, "Well, shit, I was better off by myself." Right? Because the only thing I'm looking at a woman for is companionship, in a sense, and a legacy. I don't need her for anything else. Like nothing.
I get it.
So that's the realistic part I was trying to emphasize.
Okay. I got you. So basically, I get exactly what you're saying when you say that. You know, I was talking to Vic last week. We were talking about that whole subject of being submissive and also men being the provider. And we kind of went, and I was kind of saying to him, I was like, "Hey, look, we have to look at the definition of words. No longer use words without knowing the definition of a word, how to properly use it. Because when you say provider, it just means to provide. That's all it means. You know, so on the male and female side of it, both are providers. You know what I'm saying? One's providing one thing, one's providing another thing. And that's why we call them a help meet. You know, you're help meeting the demands of the day. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you can go all the way back to, you know, antiquity and when huts were being built, women were a huge part in building huts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were out hunter-gatherers in a lot of villages. Hunter-gatherers, we didn't have time to do that, where she had time to do that. She also had time to master agriculture, you know, so that's feeding, you know, the family pretty much. And that's not a womanly position, you know, because it's hard work in agriculture if you're doing it properly. You know what I'm saying? You ever watch somebody really plant a garden?
I agree with you. Listen, the man will do the dirt, the woman could do the seeds. I get it. It's a woman carrying a hoe.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that kind of hoe.
I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about here. So across the street from where I live, you know, there is a Latino family. And that Latino family, when you really look at what they do and how they get things done around the house, both are heavily involved. They took this huge tree down. Didn't call anybody to take it down. They just took it down themselves. What you saw was the men were climbing the trees, chopping the wood down. And as the wood came down, guess who was at the bottom hauling the wood off?
Yeah.
The women hauled the wood off. And then also the women in the backyard got a log splitter and split the logs, not finished yet. They stacked the logs in the back on the back of the fence line. So at the end of the day, dude, like it's all, you know, let's work together. That's what it is.
Well, I think what's lost in society today, I think what's lost in society today is that people forgot their roles. I think women forgot their roles and men forgot their roles. Okay. I think that role was taken over by submissive and leader. When I don't think it should be like that. Women just forgot their role. Yeah, women are great today. They vote, they do their thing, they become doctors, lawyers, and that's great. But at the end of the day, you're still a woman. At least I hope you are. That's all.
Right. I mean, inevitably, that's what it's all about, you know. And like I said, I think the roles change, you know, with civilizations or with cultures. Let's just say cultures, right? Because I think the role of an Asian woman is going to be totally different than the role of an African American woman. I think the role of a Latino woman is going to be totally different than an Asian woman. I think the role of an Indian woman is going to be totally different from the roles of an Asian woman.
Well, what they do will be different, but the role of a woman is always going to be consistent.
Okay, give me an example of what the role of a woman would be.
Like you'll have more Indian women like to hunt, right? And when I say Indian, they like to hunt. Right. But today their hunting is going to the grocery store. They like to do that. Right. That's something they take a part in. Okay, Asian women are great with their fish. They like to cook fish. They know their role to do that, right? A man can suggest what he wants, but at the end of the day, she will know what's the best fish for the certain day that it is. I'm just saying but people don't understand is the roles of a woman is her providing to make the home. She makes the home. Ain't no man making the home, all right?
Right.
No way. We just don't have those things, that delicate touch to make it feel the way it should feel. And
Okay.
I'm not talking about a physical. I'm talking about the overall environment of a home.
Okay,
right?
so you're talking about things that you would say would naturally be attractive to do as a woman. Is that
Right.
what you're saying? Okay.
Right.
And things that would be naturally attractive to do as a man.
Right, because I wouldn't come home and say, oh, she's gonna probably say, "What do you think of the blue blinds in the house?" I'm gonna say, like, I mean, okay, like, I'll probably give you my 2 cents worth, but I know overall I'm not gonna care.
Right.
Not something I would notice, but she says, "Hey, that would look nice with matching the paint color if you could paint it this color." Okay, you know what? Let me go get the paint. That's my job. I'll get up on a ladder and I'll do that. I'll provide that service to you.
Okay.
And once I provide that service for you, my hands are done. I know you're gonna have dinner for me, and you're gonna do the whole blinds thing, and because I don't care. We don't care about stuff like that. The minute a man starts telling a woman what color to use, that's when he becomes like, okay, buddy, like, yeesh. I'm just saying, like,
I got you. My wife, she'll ask me, hey, do you like how this looks? I give her a really, great detailed answer. You know what I'm saying? It's not kind of yes or no, because if you say yes or no when it comes to a wife, they're gonna be looking like, okay, so you're not appreciating what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? So kind of got to play that game a little bit.
Exactly. You have to show some interest. But even if I tell her red, she knows that at the end of the day, it's her decision. I'm not gonna challenge her with it.
Right.
And now if she asks me, do I like it? I'm gonna tell her straight up, no.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask me, hey, listen, this is the color I chose. Well, you know what? That's what you chose. You're obviously something I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
It's like her telling me what lawnmower to buy. Well, I like that one because it looks all pretty and it's big.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at it. Okay, but honey, it's not efficient.
Right. And I look at you guys talk all the time on here. You guys do your dialogue and everything. And it's a couple of things I don't know about you, Antoine. Are you married? Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm single. I'm single.
Okay. Yeah. How long have you been single?
How long have I been? Oh shit.
Damn.
How long have I been single? That's a good question. Wait, let me think back now.
Where you going, Vic? Dude just leaving. He coming in and leaving.
I don't need Vic to answer this.
You the host of this show,
man.
I
don't need Vic to answer this question. In my life.
Hey, I'm moderating right now.
Okay.
I'm just. I got some people that want to come on. Hey, and let me say this before you guys get going too.
Yeah.
For those of you that are watching, scroll the comments, especially the folks that's in the Kevin Samuels / Accountable Masculinity group. Look for the link to click the StreamYard. Make sure you're in a well-lit position, stable, and the least amount of noise possible in the background. And you can come on here and talk. You have to be on camera though. Got to be on camera.
I'm not going to no comments. I'm not doing any of that.
No. Well, that's not your job. That's what.
I thought you meant like to go and look at the comments. No, I ain't doing that.
That's why I said before y'all get going. So
okay.
Hey, Vic, are you still hearing an echo from me or no?
Better. Yeah. I think you killed the echo. I think you might have had something turned up in the background.
Well, I had the gain turned up on the actual microphone here, so that might have been what it was.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah.
So
all right, but going back to the question at hand, Antoine.
I think I've been solidly single for 10 years.
10 years, bro.
Solidly, meaning like that was the one.
Okay, so
because if you're asking me, do I entertain a lot? Yeah, but I don't. Okay. The solidly girlfriend that actually had me. Oh yeah, I'd say at least that, because nothing's been worthy since. Wow. And I'm not picky. I'm not picky. It's just that, like I said, most of them come with a mini me, and I'm not looking for that.
Oh, come with a kid.
Yeah, I'm not looking for. I don't want to entertain that. I will never entertain that. It's not. Okay. But I did tell Vic, unless the man's dead, there's a possibility.
Okay. I get you. So besides the factor, I'm
gonna do a lot of this right here. When I hear something, I'm popping up. All right.
But besides the kid factor, the mini me thing, which I get, I understand that, a lot of men would say, oh, I'm not dating one with child, not my responsibility, especially if they're the toddler age, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, possibly date somebody when they're a teenager. But at the end of the day, you're just not interested in being someone's dad that you didn't bring into this world. And I get that,
No, again,
Mhm.
that was my old way of thinking. Now the man has to, the reason that was my old way of thinking in a sense that I got to be realistic, right?
Okay.
I got to be realistic. So if I was to take on a child,
Okay.
right, and
Mhm.
because I have a lot to lose, I don't know about her, but I have a lot to lose, right?
Right. I got
That kid could ruin my life, and the where that kid comes from, that
Mhm.
man could ruin my life and bring chaos.
That's just
Right,
true.
so I have to vet the. I don't care about the girl I'm dating. I already know her. I'm
Right.
talking about where that kid came from, and that kid doesn't owe me respect because he's living under my roof.
Right.
Right? Okay. So that being said, that's what I'm talking about. So I have to vet that. Now, it's easier if the man's dead because then I can adopt the kid and give him my name. I
Right.
can adopt the kid, give him my name.
Hey, that's being
And once
realistic.
and once he has my name, he has one of these coming if he gets out of line.
Right.
Right?
I got you.
And she can't say nothing about it because that's how it's going to be because he took on my name.
Okay.
So it would have to be a full one-sided way for me to go down that route because I have a lot to lose.
Okay. I got
Right? And there's no reward for me in that. None.
you. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what reward would I get out of it? Right? It's great that he's appreciative of all what I've done for him.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to be willing to have kids between us.
Right.
Right? She has to be,
So right. So I can kind of see why you're in the 10-year range right now, because at the end of the day, like your window is very small at this point. So we'll say this. Okay. So how old are you?
46.
46. Okay. So we're about the same age. I'm 43, right? Okay. So you're 46. So what age groups are you interested in dating? Exactly.
I wouldn't go lower than, honestly, I said 28 at one time, but they're still stupid at that age. So I would go, 28-year-old has nothing to offer me. They're kind of like, it's very rare you find one that's really could hold a conversation. And the way social media and social media outlets have changed women today, it's the way it has changed women today, I find at least.
Oh yeah, it definitely.
They don't have that same mindset. Listen, a woman doesn't need to tell you. A woman doesn't need to hear you say she's beautiful. She's got 12,000 guys on Instagram telling her. So your opinion really doesn't matter. Like if you had an argument with your wife and you said, you know what, you look ugly. I'm pretty sure she can go online, put up that face, and go, yeah, you think I'm ugly, but I got 12,000 guys telling me I'm pretty. So it doesn't really hold weight, honey.
Right.
Okay, so that argument is old, right?
Yeah.
So social media has changed that.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're able to cheat, flirt, do all kinds of things based on social media. I just have to be extra careful.
Okay. So what age were you saying would be your minimum again?
30. I think I would like 30.
30?
I think 30 because 30 is young enough, 5 years away from geriatric pregnancy, so something good can come from it.
Right.
And I think she's more mature in that mindset. Okay, what am I going to do? Do I want kids? Not want kids. 28 women always think, I got 2 more years. I'm good. Might work, might not work. But at 30, they're more of I think when they're in their 30s, they're more in a desperate stage, even though they don't want to say it.
Okay.
Because let's face it, the more money a man has, you're not in that age bracket anymore. Because you don't see these rich guys or guys that are well-to-do when they break up with their wives, getting a wife at 40. They go for the younger, hotter, fresher.
Right.
I mean, for the most part, I'm just talking general here. Mm-hmm. And he's rightfully so, right? Because he's had the old thing. Now he wants the young thing. He wants to feel young again. He's getting over a pain. He's getting over whatever he's been through. He's had his kids. He wants to have fun now, right? He already established how much he pays alimony, and he already knows what his mortgage and all that stuff is and what his expenses are. Now he wants to have fun.
I get it. Yeah. I can see why a dude would do that, definitely. So getting back to the subject at hand, so we have someone over 30 or 30 and above. All right. Preferably no kids.
That would be great. That would be great.
Possibly one kid. Am I saying that?
Yeah, possibly one kid. Possibly one kid, and the man might have to be dead or an invalid.
Damn, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, crippled or something in a corner they can't move.
Hey, what about locked up for 25 years?
Nah, that means he's coming out with revenge.
Right.
He's coming out looking for me and his kid.
All right, so basically breaking down because a lot of women want to know, because a lot of women can't find good men out here. Like,
No.
what's up?
There's a lot of good men out here.
I said they
just
can't
don't like,
find.
they just don't
can't
like what they're
find them.
seeing.
Well, now see. So the thing is this, and me and Vic talked about this last week. I think what's happening with good men is good men are not putting themselves in proper position to be seen.
Like
So
how?
what I mean by that is a lot of men out here who are driven, who have great careers, who have everything that they're supposed to have as far as a house, credit score, finances in the bank, savings account, things like that. They're pretty much, like you said earlier, you said this yourself, Antoine, they have a lot to lose. So being that they have a lot to lose, they have to be really careful on who they put themselves around. You know what I'm saying? So when they go looking for a wife or they go looking for a woman, you're not necessarily looking for a woman in a club environment per se. That's pretty much for a night of fun, if that's what you're going to do. So where do men?
I challenge that, all right?
Right.
Because I'm a nice guy and I
Mhm.
go to clubs.
Okay.
So I'm guaranteeing you there's a nice guy besides myself that's in a club. Now,
Okay.
people don't understand. As a single man, there's only you can go online dating is the thing, right?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go to a smoke bar. I'm gonna go to where there's entertainment, where I get to see what a woman looks like. She's not gonna be in a coffee shop on a laptop. That's great for Sleepless in Seattle and movies and shit.
Right.
That's great. But the way people put down entertainment environments, such as clubs, bars, and all that, I'm a people person. I hate the whole swipe left, swipe right. That's good for tapping. It's great for tapping. You put up the right picture, you catching a good fish. Saturday night, Friday, you know what I mean? Let's be real. But if you're looking for conversation and an interaction, I'm just curious. Where do people say they're gonna find it? Where? Let me know a place where.
I'm gonna tell you a place in Charlotte that people
generally. Let's speak generally.
No, it's general. I mean, it was a big thing at one time. Okay. I don't know if it still is. I know it was when I was there, but Walmart and Target. Walmart and Target were like huge places to where you could find them. Like it was crazy. Like, to be honest with you, no shit.
Kevin, how long you been married?
How long I've been married? I've been married 7 years. I'm
okay,
sorry,
bro.
Been married.
Oh, okay. Like
three.
Okay, I'm trying to contain myself, Kevin, but you said Walmart, and I'm like, Jesus Christmas, really, bro?
No, but hey, listen,
how long are you staying in a Walmart?
Listen,
I don't know about you. How long are you staying in a Walmart?
Seriously, they actually had a night at Walmart, and it was on it was at Wilkerson Boulevard. No shit, Wilkerson Boulevard, where people would actually do their shopping while also looking for potential candidates. You know what I'm saying? My boy and his wife got married like that. They met in Walmart.
I'm trying to get out of Walmart fast because of how these people are dressed in Walmart. I don't know what you are talking about.
Look, women in Charlotte on Wilkerson Boulevard. Look, women in Charlotte on Wilkerson Boulevard was dressed fly as hell to the T because they knew what they was coming in there for. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like Walmart, Target, places like that. That's what I'm saying.
Did you say Target?
So Antoine, you've never seen.
Why don't we just go? Let's just lower ourselves and go to Denny's too while we're at it. Because at least they're
if you see a pretty woman at Denny's, Antoine, of course, I mean, you don't have to be in a club environment.
See, you're not being realistic right now. You're not being genuine.
How am I not being realistic? How am I not?
I don't understand how you can say Walmart. Have you seen people dressed in Walmart?
I said Target. I said Target too, man.
Have you seen them dressed in Target? And when I say that, I'm not putting them down for what they're wearing. But brother, come on. You got to give me something to look at.
What I'm saying, Antoine, is when you see the gazelle, the lion has to pounce regardless of where they are in the Serengeti. You feel what I'm saying? They got to pounce. He got to pounce when he see the gazelle. You just can't wait to say, okay, well, I'm in the club arena here, so I'm gonna just holler at somebody at a club. No, bro, it's wherever you're at. That's wherever you're at.
Kevin, I can guarantee you right now.
I met my girl at Buffalo Wild Wings. I met my wife at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
That ain't a Walmart, bro.
It wasn't a club set neither. We were just having some chicken wings,
That's
bro.
What I'm saying, but it's an entertainment area.
Hey, I think let me try to clean this up.
I gotta pull my hair back for this one.
Yeah, I think Cavi is saying when the opportunity permits, you got to be ready for it. That's all he's saying.
That's all I'm
Do
saying.
you really think I'm not though? Did you really think I'm not though?
Hold on. Let me clarify. Let me clean it up, because like this is
Please.
gonna go.
You're the big ass
funny.
bro.
It's funny, but it's funny because I know both sides understand exactly what's being communicated here.
Right.
Antoine is just saying, like, relative to his environment, he out in Beverly Hills. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like Walmart, the crowd at Walmart look way different out there than the crowd that's in Charlotte, probably.
Even if I wasn't where I'm living, I still wouldn't go to Walmart.
We know that, Antoine. Antoine,
some of them can't even fit in the aisle.
I know.
What are you talking about?
So Antoine, so you're an artist, correct?
Uh-huh.
And obviously a very successful artist, because at this point you said that you are handling business financially. So at this point, you're good at what you do. So you're telling me that you don't see any potentials in any of the what do you guys call
the
those
art shows, the art galleries?
You don't see that?
Oh no, listen. I'm not saying I don't see potential. I'm just saying there's a difference between a girlfriend, a girl you want to fuck, and a wife.
Oh, okay.
All right. And when you get to my age, you already know gravity's coming to that face. So you're looking more internally. At least that's what I'm thinking.
So with that being said, let's go. I'm highlighting the comment right now. I'm not sure why his name isn't coming up, but it's from Derek Taylor. He says, if what you're doing isn't working, you need to try something different.
Dude, I do think different.
And I think that's what Cabby is saying.
Correct.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that at some point, if you don't change, are you not delusional? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to get the solution at some point? You know, we have to shift. You know what I'm saying? Like what we're doing, because repeating the same process and getting the same outcome is the definition of a mental illness.
Well, I tell you this, everything for me is always different, because I have a jogging club. I love jogging, and I'm involved in a lot of activities with my friends that are also single and successful. Some of them aren't. Some of them are average guys looking for, but I don't think the average guy is putting himself out there, and a well-to-do man is putting himself out there. Mm-hmm. It's just that, I would like to say that people aren't women today, modern women today, based on social media, aren't realistic in what they expect to get as a man. They're not. And they're more judgmental than anything. And I think that being said, is he hearing me? Sorry. I just think the rift right now between men and women is they're very unrealistic in their expectations and what they can get. I'm very realistic. I know that I am 5'6". I know my looks and height went out the window when I stand on my wallet. I am not stupid to that. Not stupid at all.
Okay.
And if you're a man and you're making, don't try to be 47,000 trying to get a dime. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, because she knows what she could get. She's not stupid. Right. All right. And there's a lot of guys hitting on her besides your broke ass. Mm-hmm. So I'm realistic to that. I'm not stupid to that. And a lot of friends that I know are realistic to that. Right. And the guys that are not well-to-do will go out with the guys that are well-to-do, because they know once the girl gets to know them, then it's able to change their mind to see, hey, wait a minute, he may not make this, but she's able to have that conversation with him to get to know him, and then that breaks the ice that she may be able to entertain the thought of, maybe I don't really need a guy like that. Maybe this guy is so funny, because they know that the ice is broken by the visual being gone.
Right. And I will say, being 5'8" myself, and I look at that as kind of the shorter, side of men height. it may be average to some, but I mean, my wife picks.
His height has nothing to do with it. All they preach about is the bag. Stop it.
So here's the thing.
All they preach about is
here's the thing. Now, if you talk to a whole lot of women, and we're going to talk specifically about Black women, because Black women seem to be the ones who are really on that height thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them will not date
baby mamas at best.
A lot of them won't date anyone under 6 foot. They'll say that.
Sucks to be them.
Yeah, it does. So I was saying that to say this. This is kind of my landing. So at 5'6", which you are, and you're in Beverly Hills, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that there is a huge Latino culture there and probably a huge Asian culture. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mhm. I mean, listen, it's LA.
Right. So is that an option for you? Because
Of
if
course,
if you're talking 5'6", you know,
I date whoever wants to date me. I love whoever loves me. I don't believe in that whole. I ain't looking for that whole. Oh, you be black, you got to date. I ain't care about any of that shit.
are you aggressive in your approach to women? I don't mean aggressive.
I'm not aggressive. I'm not aggressive.
Okay.
But I know I will call you out on your bullshit.
No. That's not what I was meaning. I was talking about when it comes to wanting to court a woman. You know, when you want to holler at a woman, are you aggressive? Are you aggressive in your approach and hollering at a
What's
woman?
your definition of aggressive?
Okay, so my definition of aggressive. Jesus Christ, hold on real quick. My bad. So I got my 3-year-old toddler up here, man. She won't go downstairs. But anyway, so here's the thing. So when you go to court a woman, like I said, when I said aggressive or aggressive in an approach, me and Vic talked about this, you know, and we were talking about good men, well-educated men, and men who were raised what we would say by a dual parent household, right? We are brought up a certain way, and we're brought up to, I think, overly respect women. And I know you may disagree with that.
No, I agree with you on that. No, I agree with you. I think when you have a 2-parent household, you know how to court a woman. You're like, you see it. You have an example.
So here's the thing. When you have a 2-parent household, a dual parent household, and you're being raised by both parents, like I said, when I said overly respect a woman, I mean sometimes being too nice to a woman seems like you're being timid, and women are not attracted to that shit, bro. They really aren't attracted to that. Vic, will you chime in on this?
I don't think you could be too nice to a woman. I think that you have to be the man and the gentleman that you are. If she is not receptive to the gentleman that you are, that just shows her level. You know what I mean? Because
let me fly the plane real quick. Let me fly the plane.
Fly the plane, brother.
Yeah, you know, the balance point between what Cavi is saying and what Antoine is saying is that you have to find a way to merge the two.
Right.
You have to be a gentleman, but you have to be a fucking savage too.
yeah.
You got to be a savage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got to correct her loudly. You got to correct her firmly. You gotta be able to say in the same tone, instead of being like elevated and animated, you got to be able to pull it close to you and say what's respect and what ain't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of guys that's too nice and they never sharpen that iron where, you know what I'm saying, they got to be able to make that look and stop and pause and get the same kind of impact that they would give some other guy that can, you know what I'm saying, actually regulate their behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because like all of us have a boundary to which we know we're being received,
right,
or being played with or being
right.
disrespected. You know what I'm saying? And truthfully, to go back to the point about being nice, at some point, is being the nice guy like being an independent woman? Because if it's so many nice guys out here that not getting what they want, well, what's their cohort? The cohort is the independent woman that's reading off her resume saying I can take care of everything on my own, but she's not getting what she want either.
Nope.
So at some point, these folks passing each other. They just kind of like looking at each other. They looking at each other. One side saying I'm a nice guy, and the other saying I'm an independent woman, and then they not even attracted to each other.
Nope.
So who gets what they want? The person that's capable of taking what they want in the right way, tactfully delivering a message and not doing anything that's going to misrepresent their character. You know what I'm saying? Because some part of you has boundaries that when you meet a certain level of a certain trigger, you're going to get a certain response out of people, right? So if you aggressively want something, meaning that like you pursue it, you pursue things intentionally, you know, like in your mind, you have to have you have to have read every clue to know that you can actually claim that territory.
Right.
That way, when you speak to her, you saying, hey, like the guidance I'm giving is based on what I'm seeing 10, 15 years from now. So when I'm correcting you right now, I'm coming back from the future, baby, to talk to you right now. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta understand. Like I was raised like this, right? I'm gonna put every woman up here, right? I'm gonna put her on that little pedestal. When she turns that pedestal into entitlement, that's when I'm gonna take her down from the pedestal, smack her in the right places, and then put her back up there so she knows her place. Don't turn it into an entitlement. The minute you turn it into entitlement, your ass is coming down from there. Because I'm gonna take you down. Because I don't need you like that. You don't complete me. I was complete before I met you. That's why I'm looking at you. You're coming into my world. I'm not going into yours. Mine is good. And the women I date know that. I'm not coming into Antoine. I'm coming into Antoine's world. He's not coming into mine. I wouldn't care less if your father liked me, your mother liked me, your sister. Really don't care about that stuff. Right? She's coming into my world. Now, if they don't like me, they got to have a reason. I'm not going to give them a reason. But women need to understand. You should be lucky a man is talking to you. Why? Because you have the biological clock, not me. We don't have a biological clock. Our biological clock is when we say, we don't want kids no more. I'm going to retire. We're going to retire. We don't have a clock. Now, if a woman wants a good man and wants to give him kids, that's her clock, not mine. Has nothing to do with me. So they have to understand that. You can be as fine as you want, do that 3/4 ass shot as long as you want. Gravity will come to you. You just better hope a man's willing to take where that gravity falls. But I can tell you now, gravity doesn't come to men like that if he takes care of himself, because he can last a lot longer. That's all I'm saying. That's the role of a man. We don't have to pick and choose right away. What we have to do is build our life and make sure we have the pickings we want at the time we want to get them.
Okay. Now, we're going to go back.
Hold up. Before you continue, Cavi, I want to highlight the illustrious, you know what I'm saying, Christopher McClellan. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, Chris?
Across the table, and it's good to have you on here. I'm glad you had a couple minutes to jump in. Today's topic is solutions over delusions, and which delusions do men need to let go of, as we progress, because we've been talking about the remnants and the fallout and the backlash from the gender wars. Now everybody's divided, right? And everybody's on their side. Everybody's in their own box. You got what you got, and if you still want what you want, what are you willing to do? What you got to let go of to get what you want? I know you say ego all the time, so I want you to come in. You know what I'm saying? With that mindset that you always bring, when you put that extra sauce on the conversation, and when I'm gonna let Cavi and you know what I'm saying, finish what he was trying to communicate, and I'm gonna let you jump in. All right, bro.
First things first.
Yes, sir.
One, I'm not on anybody's side, male or female. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not on anybody's side, because like I said, when you and Vic were live streaming and y'all was talking and y'all were talking about were women and men out of order, I said yes, both of them are out of order, because everybody is acting stupid and we know better.
Absolutely.
So I am not on anyone's side.
Absolutely.
I am. Have any of you heard of tonight's conversation?
Yeah.
You know Trip
Fontaine. Yeah.
Okay. Trip says something, and I've been saying it a lot too because it made sense. Everybody talks about how, and I said this, and Antoine heard this too. Everybody talks about how the dating pool is toxic and it has piss and shit in it and all this other stuff. By definition, since I was in the dating pool, I had to understand that I was toxic, I was pissy, and I was shitty, because I was in the pissy, shitty, toxic dating pool.
Okay.
So I got out of it and I took a shower. I'm looking at it from an objective point of view. So when I speak, I'm speaking without my own ego, my own biases, and my own thought processes in this. I'm not on anybody's side.
Okay.
Hey, before we move on too, and pick it back up, I want to highlight the comment from Stephen Moultrie damn, I want Antoine C as my mentor. Look, Antoine, get these flowers, man. You know what I'm saying? Get these flowers, you know. Hey,
so this is
somebody out there actually likes me. I'm kind of happy about that.
Hey, look, we're gonna call Antoine, dial 1-800-555-Antoine, and you will get the most direct and concise. He gonna start at the end and then let you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying, in the course of the conversation. 1-800-555-Antoine.
Okay, so Antoine, we were talking. So we were talking about, like I said, we were talking about your approach in hollering at a woman, right?
Right.
You know what I mean by hollering at a woman.
Yeah.
You know, you spitting your game or whatever, right? And you kind of went around the world with it and kind of went in the wrong direction. I kind of wanted you to answer, you know, when hollering at a woman, what's your approach? Stop doing that. You messed right.
I'm gonna wait till that stops. I'm all over the map right now.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm saying is, like, and Vic made a good point. Vic said that you have these two individuals. You got independent women, and you have nice men that they walk past each other. Pretty much, you're not seeing each other. So these are these two people that are probably great people and individuals that would do awesome things together, right? But for some reason, they're not seeing each other. And I think it goes to my point in saying, okay, I'm gonna go a little further back, you know, when we started our conversation in the first place, right? We were talking about the role of women, right? Natural roles of women and men, correct? Okay, so also with where that goes is there's a natural mentality of men and women, right? So with women want men who display alpha behavior. Now, I know what you're going to say, Antoine. You're going to say, well, I'm going to give her what I am. This is what I'm going to present. This is me. This is me. Okay, I get that. I understand that. It's your world. I understand it.
I don't believe. Wait, I don't know if you see you don't know me because I don't believe in alpha and beta. You'll see my alpha side if you fuck with me. You'll see my beta side if I'm just taking it easy.
That's an unrealistic approach because there's such thing as alpha and beta.
Just in the animal kingdom, there's the alpha that takes the lead. That's animal kingdom. I'm talking about people with brains. You don't need to always put your people with brains. They know how to compartmentalize, right? So I don't believe in this alpha, simp, beta. No. You want to see somebody. You want to see an alpha. You want to see an alpha. You could see an alpha. Doesn't mean he's right to lead.
Look, Antoine, you can have 10 men with doctorates. There's going to be one man amongst those 10 that's going to be an alpha.
But we're not talking doctorate.
That's the reality.
We're not talking.
You just brought intelligence into it. What I'm saying is that you can get 10 men with doctorates in there, okay, and you're still going to have one displaying as an alpha.
Right. Now you're creating a scenario.
Right. So what I'm saying is that women are naturally attracted to alpha males.
I think that women are attracted to confidence.
Alpha male, yeah.
Alpha males are not the only men with confidence, bro. Are you kidding me right now?
I don't know.
You're telling me a guy. Let me tell you something. Alpha women are men that are confident. All right, that's a very strong display of confidence in what they do. All right. They may be kind of like wimpy on the shy side of approaching women and all that other crap. I'm not talking about that. But women are attracted to confidence. They are attracted to the confidence in what a man displays because that's what they see walking down the street. You can walk with your head up. You can walk with your head looking forward. You can walk with your head down and shoulders up. Okay, the confident guy is going to walk like he owns the joint. So
I get you. I will agree with you on that. There is a confidence that a man has to display, and I feel like when a man is, you know, like I said, either hollering or spitting his game to a woman, you have to display that confidence immediately. You know what I'm saying? You have to display that confidence immediately.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Because if she reads any little bit of you being timid, she's saying with her natural mentality, with her natural mind, he can't protect me. If someone were to come up to me and want to hurt me or do me harm, he can't protect me properly.
Wait a minute. Did she bring it on herself? Because if she brought it on herself, I'm not going to protect her. I'm just being realistic. If she brought it on herself, I'm not protecting her. If she brought that shit on herself, I'm not protecting her. Because you're an idiot.
Right.
Let's be real. Let's create the scenario. If she brought that shit on herself, I'm not putting what I have in jeopardy for your stupidity.
Right.
Let's make that clear. So you got to create the scenario if you want to talk like that.
Okay, what I'm saying is this: you're from Beverly Hills, right? Okay, all right. So let's put you in a spot not so great in that city that has great food. Where would that be?
Why would I be there?
Shit.
Because it has great food. It has a great food.
Look, listen.
Sometimes
I
you go
don't
find
know.
great food in those
Listen,
spots.
hold on. Wait a
listen,
minute, Antoine. Wait a minute.
Come on,
Cavi,
Chris.
I don't know how long you've been watching,
Mhm.
but as much as me and Antoine go back and forth,
Right.
I don't think Antoine really cares how good the food is if the food is in a shitty spot that's going to put him
Thank
in
you.
danger.
You're not gonna go to a shitty spot. Okay.
No.
He's not
What I'm
going to
saying-
If I
go
want to
there.
see, if I want to
What-
see it, I'll drive to
Okay.
it and drive through it.
Okay.
But
What
there's
I'm-
no
what I'm-
reason.
what I'm
9
saying-
times out of 10,
What
he'll
I'm
probably
saying,
DoorDash it or
Antoine,
something.
what I'm saying, Antoine, is that you live in California. The
No.
biggest. So you don't live in California?
I live in California, but I wasn't raised like that.
Okay, no, well, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. So being California has the highest fucking homeless rate in the fucking nation.
Right?
There's a good chance, brother, that you're going to be walking down the street and this homeless vagrant with mental issues
Vagrant.
may attack you and your wife or you and
Right.
your woman. You have to be capable of protecting her. Can you fucking do that? That's what I'm asking. Can you do that?
Well, if I'm a man, why wouldn't I be able to do that?
That's all I'm asking.
Of
Would
course.
you do that for your woman?
Of course. That's. But why would you? That is such a.
She has
Like,
to know
that's an
that.
obvious question, man.
She
A man
has
has to
to
lay down his.
know that.
A man has to lay down his life to protect his family.
What I'm saying
That's
is
an obvious
she
answer.
has to know that. A woman has to know that. So you can't be this little timid ass little pussy coming up to a woman thinking you're gonna holler with these little crackling voices and shit like that. Shit ain't gonna fucking work, dog.
Well,
You gotta come up to it, like you said, with a
Obviously.
bunch of damn confidence. So
Yeah.
what I'm asking is, are you doing that?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
So you're doing that. Okay.
I'm just saying, listen, I'm not saying I'm not saying that a man shouldn't have the confidence. Listen, I always say to myself when I go into an environment, I go, let me get these 10 no's out of the way so I can get to the yes. That's my mindset. I'm going to get the 10 no's out of the way so I can get to the yes.
Okay.
Right? Now, if I'm confident in what I have, if she can't see that, that just tells me about her. Everybody's looking for fucking Superman, but nobody knows what Clark Kent looks like.
Right. I get
Okay,
that.
let's be real.
That's
Nobody's
good word.
looking for Clark
That's good
Kent.
wordplay, man. I like that.
Okay, so let's be real about that. I'm just being realistic that if I come in there and I have to be, listen, if I want to get laid, I'm going to be an ass because women love a man that's an ass because they think it's a challenge trying to change him.
Right.
So I'm going to be that ass. I'm going to feed the shit you want to hear because if you're over 35, I know I only want to sleep with you because you can't give me kids. There's no reason for us to go any further. If you're 28, I'm going to entertain the thought of young sex. But if you're where I want to be and you're articulate and you have a brain between your legs and your head, I'm gonna approach you differently. I'm just saying I determine what's in your head because I'm gonna ask the questions that actually make you think for a second. I'm not gonna ask the stupid questions of what's your favorite color and where do you like to eat. I determine where we're gonna go eat because I eat on a strict diet. During the weekend, we'll cheat. So those questions are like, what are you gonna ask a girl that for? When people ask me that, I go like, oh, a woman goes to a woman. People say, oh, I'm not gonna take her out to eat. I'm gonna take her out to. I'm gonna take her out to coffee.
This will be a good segue into the next question here. So, when having your first conversation with a female, what are the questions that you're asking, 1 through 10?
First, I'm gonna ask, what do you do for a living?
Okay.
I want to know, right? I'm gonna ask her, what do you do for a living? She's gonna tell me whatever she may tell me, so I can put her in a certain area. Like, oh, okay, cool. You like what you're doing? Yeah. What's your future plans? What's your goals? Then I'm gonna ask you, do you have kids? Because I want to get that out of the way right away. Then I don't have to waste my time hearing yes or no. I'm gonna know.
Right.
That's another question I ask. Then I ask, when was your last relationship? Because I want to know. That means that's the last time you got laid. If you got laid in between there, you're gonna have to be honest and tell me. So I'm gonna ask those questions. I'm gonna ask about her family. Do you have brothers, sisters? Do you live at home? Do you live with your parents? Do you take care of your parents? Because she's at that age where mother and father might not be healthy. I want to know. Okay. So I want to know where her priorities. I'm going to find out where her priorities are. Because obviously she's in a club environment with me, or she's in an environment where I'm at. So I need to know what brought her to that situation. Is she trying to get away? She had a hard work week. I don't know. So I'm going to make her feel uncomfortable because I'm going to ask the questions that actually matter to me. right? Because nobody likes to talk about their family. I love talking about my family because they're all good and straight. So I have no problem telling you.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask, do you like to travel? And if you do, if a woman says, well, I love to travel, and she can't tell me the last place she traveled, well, you're just telling me what's coming off the internet.
Right.
You know what I mean? People say they love to travel, and then when you really ask them, oh, where'd you been? Oh, I've been here.
They don't even have passports.
They don't even have a passport. You know what I mean? And then you're saying, oh yeah, really? You went to Greece? Really? You spent $5,000, eh? Because I know a ticket is $2,500. I mean, I'm just asking, where you really want to go there? Let's go. So I asked the question. These are in-depth questions that she has to answer. Do you live alone? I want to know, where do you live? You have your own car? I want to know these things because I'm talking about a woman I'm trying to get to know, right? Not one I want to sleep with. The one I want to sleep with, I'm just feeding drinks down her throat.
Right. I got you. So what's and Chris, you can chime in anytime, brother. You know what I'm saying? I already know you're a man to man, so you go chime in whatever you're going to chime in. But at the end of the day, like if I ask a question, all you guys, this is Vince. Vic, this is your thing. But I like talking.
Yeah, hey,
I like talking.
Hey, look, I'm enjoying the conversation. Hey, I've been talking for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? This is good.
Yeah. So here's my question for you, Antoine. Like, in your experience in the dating field, right? What's been missing? Like, what's making you say no to certain females?
I think I'll tell you. That's an easy. It's funny we were talking about this. That's funny we were talking about this. You know what it is.
That's a good question.
You know what it is. People are so used to communicating with their phone that they don't know how to have a conversation in person.
Oh, okay. I can dig it.
Okay, they don't know how to have a conversation in person because you're not high. Now I'm getting to see your expressions. So I FaceTime. I go, you know what? I'll do 1 or 2 conversations on the phone, and then I'll say, okay, let's FaceTime.
Okay.
Because now I want to see who I'm talking to. That's great and all. You can hide behind that, but now I want to see. I want to see if the pictures match the face.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm about to go refill my glass and grab a cigar.
You know what I mean? So that's
I'm not doing this with you, Vic. I'm not.
Okay.
No,
that's important.
I'm not doing this tonight, Vic. I'm not doing it.
And that's what I really wanted to ask. You said 10 years since your last major
real relationship.
Okay, so
I'll actually say one that had my feelings in it.
Okay, and I was going to ask this question right here because I think it's important to ask. Like, but you don't have to answer if it's too personal. You know what I'm saying? What was it about this woman that you were head over heels with? I mean, what was it about her?
I think what was it about her is she was a real wife.
Oh, this was a wife.
No, she was a real material to be a real wife.
Oh, okay.
She had the makings of a wife.
Okay.
I saw beauty outside of her looks. Although I thought to me she was gorgeous, but that's me, right? You may look at her and say, but to me she was. But I saw beyond that, and she was really, really, really wife material.
Okay.
Right. That's what I'll say.
Okay, so when it comes to that relationship right there, why did that one fail?
Because I chose my career and I didn't give her the attention she needed. I chose my career. I really did. I did not want the struggle life.
You're not the only one to
say that. Wait a minute, Antoine. You know what? Antoine talks a lot about how he let a handful of women that he should have really been with go because he had to put his career first because his livelihood is what mattered first. Yeah, he talks about that a lot of and here's one of the delusions that we need to actually get rid of. There's gonna come a point in time where we're going to have to choose, and we just might have to take a L.
Right. Okay.
Antoine took a L because his career came first, and it was 10 years ago. Now, I'm pretty sure that if she were to come around now and be kind of sort of in the same position that she was in without any liabilities, I'm pretty sure Antoine would give her another heads up because he's 10 years older and he knows what he had.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying? That's a delusion. The main delusion is we are going to men always have to make a choice. Always. It's either we do this or we do this, and we have to accept the consequences of the choices that we make.
Yeah, right. And I wouldn't recommend what I did to anybody. That's another thing.
He says that a lot too.
I don't recommend what I did to anybody. I'll tell everybody, lift your head up and smell the roses. And when you see a good thing coming, stay on the same side of the street.
It sounds like she got out of the dating pool and took a shower.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't tell the kids that may think of me as a mentor, hey, you know what? Get your job. Make sure you make money. Make sure I don't tell them that. I say, listen, try to find the balance in between. Yes, focus on your career. You need to be a provider. Yes, you know what? The money will determine what type of woman what type of dating pool you're in. Yes, but I wouldn't say that's what matters. I would say, I would let them know that learn how to work with somebody and burn the midnight oil on both ends.
Find a medium.
Ooh.
And then
Find a medium.
find the medium and then come up together.
Find a
Ooh.
medium.
That's what I would tell them
Okay.
today.
Okay.
But you didn't ask me that before. That's
Okay.
all.
Okay. Hey man, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you kind of, you're kind of like just being honest with yourself and like, yeah, I love my career. I love what I made. I love what I got in the bank.
But damn, I wish she was here.
Yes, Chris. I wish she was.
Oh yeah, dude. You know how many times I said, shit, I wish she would stay the night, and then you know, she ain't there the next day. You say, fuck. Too bad she's not good enough to stay the night. You don't want to cook her breakfast. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
You're like, shit.
But
So,
I've been asking Antoine a whole lot of questions here. Chris, man, I mean, you've been listening to what we've been asking and everything. How long you been in the dating pool here?
I took a shower. I'm not in it.
You're not in it? Okay.
I'm sitting poolside in my lawn chair next to my lady who took a shower too, looking at this nonsense.
Oh, you got a lady now.
Yes.
Okay. How long y'all been steady, bro?
About 3 years.
That's what's up. Okay, I got you. Oh yeah, I always thought you were a single man. That's what I thought.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Nah.
Good for you, Chris.
Nah. We're where Antoine was 10 years ago when he should have made the decision to try to find a medium.
Yeah.
She's got things that she needs to do. I have things that I need to do. We both came to a compromise and understood. We both got shit that we need to do, but we want to be in each other's lives. It's no pressure. It's just that I'll help you take care of that. She's helping me take care of this. And then when we get where we need to be, we're going to move on with life.
Wonderful. Beautiful, man. That's wonderful, man. And you said you've been with this female for 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Any plans of marriage in the future?
Once she handles her business and I handle mine. We both said that we never wanted to go into a marriage with debt. So the moment the moment we clear all of our debt is the moment we jump in the broom.
That's great to hear, man. See, that's being responsible right there.
Yeah, man.
Woo,
and we said ahead of time too. We're not having no big ass wedding either, because big weddings do not build any kind of equity. We'll throw a big ass party, but we're gonna have an intimate ceremony with a handful of people and the handful of important people, because it ain't about the show with us.
Right.
It ain't about the show with us.
Understood.
I respect that. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. We not doing the social media nonsense, and she not even on there like that. I'm not on there like that either.
That's great, Chris. I didn't know, but you know what? That's great, man. I like the way you said that. And you're not going to a marriage with debt. That is really something, man.
Nah, we got shit to do.
Yeah,
and we got shit to do, and we saw how our previous generations handle shit, and we not trying to do that. We're not trying to do that.
Exactly.
We're trying to change the behavior.
Dude, that's why I said I did not want to have that struggle of now I want to get married. I can write a check and let's get this on.
Yeah,
I love it like that. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend my path to anybody.
Okay, when you said kind of want to represent you don't want to represent like what we had in the past. I would assume that you're talking about maybe what we maybe had in like the 70s and 80s, kind of like when things started deteriorating for Black marriages and Black relationships. Because prior to that, in the 60s and 50s, we had beautiful bonds. You know what I'm saying? And we made extreme leaps in every category in America because we stayed together, we worked together, and we built together. So are you kind of going back to the 50s and 60s type attitude?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, meaning that she knows she has a part to play and I have a part to play, and we're not trying to play each other's parts in the same situation. One, and two, we're adapting to the times, because there's absolutely no way in heaven that when we first start out that she's not gonna have to work. You understand what I'm saying? Like she understands that she's going to have to do stuff just like I'm going to have to do stuff. But she also understands that I'm trying to set her up to sit her down. So that way she can do what she want to do and not what she got to do.
Right. Okay, I got you. Man, hey, y'all got to figure it out, man. That's a beautiful thing, though. That's
I don't know if
definitely
we got, like Chris said, man. Like I said, I like it. I want my wife to work. I want her. I'm not coming into her life to take away the passion that she studied in school, because she may be passionate about her job. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? But I'll tell you this: soon as I know she's pregnant, those 9 months you ain't working, and I want to be in the position to say, baby, you're not working because I don't want you on your feet. I just want everything to go smoothly. I want you to be the mother you need to be and go back to work when you want to go back to work.
Right.
Because those 9 months are crucial, bonding and all that sort of,
I wouldn't
mother.
even go to 9 months. If my lady were to get pregnant, she's not working until the kid turns 7, because they
Well, there you
say
go.
from the time she's pregnant till the kid turns 7, those are the years that the kid needs the mom, especially if he's a boy. But 7 on, I got this. You can work if you want to. Hell, if we put him in preschool because he's small, or put her in preschool because she's smart, hey, go for it. You can work then. But during those nurturing years, I need you home. And ego it's not an ego bravado thing.
Mhm.
It's I understand what I missed, and I'm never going to put a child that I bring into this world through what I missed. That's not going to happen. We're going to work this out.
I have a little. I agree with Chris, but I got a different take on that 7, because, like I said, that's not my decision to say stay home till you're 7. I'm not doing that. That's gonna be. I want the well-being of the child, but I have to give her, if she's passionate about what she does and she comes up with a good solution on how she can do both that we can agree on, that the child isn't losing that. I'm good with that. I can work something out with that.
We've had that conversation too.
There you go.
We've
So
had
you
that
see,
conversation
and
too.
you know what I'm talking about.
I'm not, like I said, man, me setting her up to sit her down isn't me saying stay your ass home while I work. It's I got this. You don't have to live in survival mode anymore because I'm here. You don't have to stop, but you don't have to do this as much if you don't want to. You understand what I'm saying? That's
I
why
agree with that.
I don't want listen, man, any woman that I bring into my covering, I don't want her to have to do anything. Especially when it comes to a covering that legally I'm going to be responsible for anyway.
Right.
I agree with
You
Chris
don't,
on
you know what I'm
that.
saying? You don't have to do nothing. You can do it if you want to. Any extra help you want to give me, I am perfectly fine, because yes, you're supposed to be my help me, and you're also my value counsel. So I got to come to you with stuff too. You understand what I'm saying? We got to actually hash stuff out. Being an alpha male is not about being domineering and telling her what to do and being a
Exactly, the whole
boss.
submissive bullshit.
It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about
No, I don't think I was going on to the, when I was talking about alpha male, I was talking about the approach to women and the initial approach to women.
No,
As
the
far
reason
as
I said that was because that's what the meaning has been deteriorated into
Yeah,
due to social media and mainstream media.
yeah,
Alpha male
yeah.
means, girl, I do, you do what I say, and that's
Yeah, I'm gonna provide. I'll pay all your bills. I'm
And,
looking at you.
and,
You
and,
know you ain't
it
making
ain't
money like
about
that.
that, man. It ain't
so
about that, and that's another one of those delusions that we as men need to get rid of.
so
Alpha male is not domineering. Sit your pup. I'm sorry. I said I
go
wasn't
no,
gonna
go
be
ahead.
angry.
No, go,
So
You're right,
no,
Chris. You're right.
no,
I'm not
Chris,
gonna be
go ahead.
angry,
Go
man.
ahead and land
I'm
your
not gonna
plane
be angry, man.
because this is the thing, right? That's what this channel is about. Like, this whole conversation embodies what accountable masculinity is supposed to be about, right? And one of the things I wrote in what I would say is like my manifesto in my book is like accountable masculinity seeks to destroy the negative narrative between what people consider to be alpha, beta, sigma, whatever, delta, whatever version of what people try to designate what masculinity is. None of that shit matters if you ain't accountable. If you ain't accountable, you ain't shit. Okay. And you cannot have accountability without discipline. Otherwise, it's just a performance. So this is why people know, like, you ever talk to somebody that's really smart, but they don't know how to take tests, and then you talk to somebody that's dumb that know how to take tests and pass. That's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And just because someone wants to put on, like, try on the jacket of what they feel like an alpha is, doesn't mean it fit, doesn't mean it's comfortable, doesn't mean it's going to be a reaction. You can come with all the bravado you want to. If you can't lead, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you can't make decisions, if you can't make the hard right decision on behalf of the good of the relationship, which is what I like what you guys were talking about, like not taking away your woman's options if she has a talent and if it serves the relationship. You cannot take away the ability of the woman that you're with to provide to the relationship, because y'all brought that up before. The women have to have a space to work in the relationship in order to add value to it, because otherwise, if you end up doing everything yourself and you're still subject to criticism that's already built in, at some point you're going to regret your decision.
And we as men have to create that space.
Right. Ain't nobody responsible for that.
Space, man.
Ain't nobody responsible for that but us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, you might as well just live with your mom.
Yep.
Because if you waiting on that woman that you're with to be responsible for the security, the consistency, the provision, and everything else in the relationship, why she need you?
Exactly right. And even and like I was saying, Kevin, even if let's say the girl made more than me, and it's possible, it could happen. I meet that woman that's, I don't know, she makes more than me. She's still gonna know her role as a lady in a room and a woman. She's still gonna know.
You're gonna choose it because you're gonna choose
a man. A man that has his shit together will never be intimidated by any woman. It doesn't work that way because she's still gonna know her role as a woman, and it's very important that she's gonna know her role as a woman. So I don't have to tell her because she's making more money than me. She won't have. First of all, she won't even have the balls to confront me on that shit. But she won't have that. She knows her place. She's a lady.
I hope
she knows where she fits in. You know, and she would know where she fits in because she's that smart. And if she's right, she's not gonna bite the hand that feeds her in a certain way. And women that do that know this. If that man's intimidate you, don't use the word man because you're insulting the rest of us. That's all I'm saying.
So I will say, as far as like the woman, you know, making more money or whatever, like I got an aunt that she makes a bag, right? In the DC area and everything. She hasn't been able to hold a single marriage together because for some reason they can't do that shit you talking about. they can't make a bag like that and still let you be that dude.
They're not built like that, man. They're not built like that. And it's not a knock on them. It's not a knock on them. It's just that at a nature level, I don't know a single woman that really wants to take care of a man like that. You understand?
Me neither.
Like they don't want to take care of a man like that. They want to facilitate other roles. In fact, a lot of women out here who earn that kind of money at a nature level really want a man to come in to help her chill out, because 10 times out of 10 she got that bag because she was in survival mode in the first place. Most men who are in relationships or want to be with women want to pull their women out of survival mode and say, hey, I got it. You can chill. I really don't like quoting this man, but Kevin Samuels used to say pressure is made for shoulders and not hips.
Hey,
women are not built like that, man. They're not built to take care of a man like that. And it's not that they can't. It's just that at a nature level, they just not built like that.
And women that are really feminine, and I'm talking about have the etiquette skills, know the left and right of a fork. They won't even try to do that with their man because they know who their man is. They pick them. So they know. And they know that man dominates her every night. So she ain't going to forget that if you're doing it right. She may bring home a bigger paycheck, but she knows her man. She knows she has respect for herself, the relationship, and her man. I mean, it's not hard.
So this is where I want to kind of like jump in, because this whole conversation, this segment of it, Chris brought up the keyword, and Cavi's been talking about it too, in terms of like what the nature of the union is between all parties in the relationship. And Chris said the word nature. Anything that has this hard impasse where nobody can get on the same sheet of music, that's the boundary that I believe our nature is responsible for. The reasons why we won't get along with some men have disagreements with certain types of women, and certain types of women have disagreements with certain types of men. Because if you've been in survival mode, your nature is survival. Your nature is hustle. Your nature is fixing it. You know what I'm saying? Because you've
Absolutely.
adapted to your environment and what your role is in it to survive, right? So in this same breath, why are we still running into these conversations and topics? See, that's what I think. These
Because
arguments
too
are
many of
signs
us
of
are
delusion.
fighting nature.
Yeah, because we're going against our
We
nature. That's
fighting
ultimately
nature.
ultimately this conversation that we're having collectively about what we believe men should be responsible for and what women should be responsible for is really pivoting off the fact that the arguments that we've gotten into that created this gender war over a period of time is really us going against our nature. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to tell women what they need to be, you know what I'm saying, for men, and men are trying to tell you know what I'm saying, like other men, you know what I'm saying, what works and what doesn't either, you know. So like we kind of, this is the out of order that Cavi and I were talking about before too.
Absolutely.
Which
And this is why I'm not on anybody's side.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm not on anybody's side, because I think everybody is acting dumb and everybody is fighting their nature. We supposed to be together, man. I'm telling you, man, we are better together than we are apart, man. And we need each other way more than social media and mainstream media would lead us to believe, man. For real. This is and like I said before, man, this is why when a lot of people invite me on a panel discussions, I tell everybody, male and female, to shut the fuck up.
Go ahead.
Everybody.
Yep.
Because we fight in nature and we know better. We know this is dumb. We're not this stupid. We're not this dumb. I'm sorry.
And you're right. And you're Chris, you're so right. Because I always say to myself, let's be real. Who wants to be alone? All right. People say buy a dog bike. Who really wants to be alone? And it kills me when people say I do bad all by myself. I do this all by myself. Who really
like
wants
you
to be
bragging?
alone?
Like who gives a shit about how bad you're doing by yourself?
Really a flex for you? Because at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I can honestly speak from my own experience. At the end of the day, as much as I love myself, trust me, I love it. Woo. And I think I get more work done being alone. But at the end of the day, you really do. Man is not meant to be alone. You really want that kind of like interaction. You can't always be in your head having your own conversation. And there's only so many times you can watch Netflix. So I don't know. So when people say that to me, or women say that to me, like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, you're really going to find out the hard way. You're going to find out.
And I think better, man.
Like, not alone.
They know better. This is why I am always angry, because we know better. We know this shit is dumb. We know we shouldn't be fighting with each other the way that we are. We know the way that we interacting with each other is fucking stupid. We know this, but we doing it anyway. I think one of the main delusions that men need to let go of is thinking that having a bunch of money and being high value are synonymous, and they're not at all. Because I know a lot of high earning assholes that are alone right now and ain't useful to nobody.
Man,
dude, everybody jumped on the bandwagon with Kevin Samuels and that high value bullshit.
I think people I think people took his talking points
and perverted it.
And they perverted it. Like the reality is that his content just showed us who's on what side and who's not, right?
Right.
So like the people that log in every day to argue with the same people that he was arguing with, you at some point, sometimes I believe men are really communicating like angry black women.
Absolutely.
And so like when you start getting down into who's perverting the message and you look at it, people just use it to troll. And it's been happening for so long. So like now this platform, I'm using it to circle back and say, if it's got to be fixed, are we waiting on the women to fix it, or are men responsible for fixing it? And that's why I created this platform.
And Vic, we should be the ones fixing it
And exactly, Vic, thank you for allowing me to be on this platform and tell these men that's talking this noise to shut the fuck up.
Hold on, let me go ahead and get you squared up. Go ahead and get it out your system. Go ahead.
Shut up. I said this before. And I'm gonna say it again, man. A lot of y'all are perverting this man's message. A lot of y'all are perverting Kevin Samuel's message, and it's irritating my soul. I used to be in his Discord. He used to do Man Mondays every Monday between 6 and 6:30. You think he was talking crazy to these women? You should hear how he was talking to us, because we know better. We know better. And a lot of y'all took his high value man term and perverted it, thinking just because you earn a whole bunch of money that you high value, but you ain't useful to a month. You ain't useful to nobody. He even says that in the definition. High value men are useful to the group. How many of y'all are useful? How many of y'all are actually doing things for the community? How many of y'all are actually walking the way that y'all supposed to walk? How many of y'all are actually getting y'all money in a legit fashion? Do you know how difficult it is to earn $10,000 a month or the equivalent of it in your city for 3 to 5 years consecutively, have a group of high value men and other people as a network, be recognized by other high value men as a peer, be LinkedIn level so people can actually see what you do and actually have utility and do it with discipline, integrity, a set of morals and a code of ethics? Are you serious? Do you know how difficult that is? How many of y'all on these platforms are doing this? If you're not doing this, shut the fuck up. Because you are perverting this man's message, and all you are doing is keeping this war going on between us and our reflection, and we ain't got no business fighting. This is not our fight, man. This is why I always say I don't want nothing to do with this fight. I didn't start it. I inherited it because my father messed up. So I'm paying for the sins of my father. So I don't want nothing to do with this fight. I'm not my dad, so you can't really blame me for none of the stuff that's going on. And I don't want nothing to do with it. So leave me out of it.
Man, hey, I like what you said. Like, you inherited this, right?
This ain't my fight, man. I wasn't the one out here. I am single and childless at the age of 43, along with over half of our men in our community. This ain't my fight. It's not.
So what you said then, like what I started doing to try to put this platform together over a period of time is as I just started looking at the conflict itself. And I try to relate the conflict to other conflicts that all of us are well versed on, right? At some point, going against your nature, people got sides to choose. And there's a different type of argument that gives us comparative analysis on how people react to certain things, right? So what you just said, Chris, is what it's like when white people will talk about, I didn't own any slaves, and then they tell, you know what I'm saying, they look at black people, they say you weren't, you know what I'm saying, a direct, you know what I'm saying, descendant of slavery, you know, in terms of like your people wasn't this, and you didn't have this involvement. So yeah, like regardless of how people might feel about that, the reality is the situation still have to be fixed. So what we're going to do at this point, you know what I'm saying? So like, just like you didn't start it, like, what are we going to do to solve it? And that's why like my content has been centered on separating people by discipline. You can't solve problems with undisciplined people. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Lavelle. You can't see his name, but he's in the Kevin Samuels group that's like linked to this chat. And he says women have to fix their own issues and men have to fix men. Women have to look in the mirror and accept their failures just like men do.
Absolutely.
Remember the conversation we had last week?
Absolutely.
When I said women are not in a position to criticize men, and men are not in a position to overly criticize women either.
We need to shut the fuck up too.
Because so what's the problem solving? You know what I'm saying? Where's the problem solving? Where's the creative thinking in trying to determine which men are helping and which men are hurting? And that's when I came up with, like, everybody's separated by the decisions that they make, right? We all say, hey, you got a choice. We tell women all the time, your body, your choice, right? And so I'm telling men, your wallet, your voice. If you don't use your wallet in terms of not getting what you want, but budgeting what you have in your wallet to take on the responsibility. You can't say you want this woman and then you don't have the resources to, you know what I'm saying, be the person in the relationship, like whether that comes down to leadership skills. And then more importantly, that's why I said take the money, the cars, the jobs, take the kids out of it. What do you have to bring to the discussion that's going to give this woman the reassurance? Because most men are not visionaries. That's part of the argument. If you're complaining, it's because you can't afford what it costs to get what you want, or you cannot accept what you qualify for. Period, point blank. Like the only people complaining is people can't get what they want.
Or wait a minute. Or
go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
Or they hop on the internet and they complain because that removes them from actually looking at themselves and holding themselves accountable. It's easier to look outside. It's easier to point the finger. But what about you? You understand what I'm saying? What do you look at? What do you see when you look in the mirror? That's a deep conversation that you have to have. And you can't lie to yourself. That's the worst thing you can do. You cannot lie to the person that you look at in the mirror every day. What about you? What about you? You understand what I'm saying? It's not always the other party's fault. That's why I'm not on anybody's side. I'm not, because we all got our problems. And to keep it real, we need to focus on us. If you fix the kings, the kingdom falls back in line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let's say this. I just to understand how I'm thinking too. I also think women have just as many choices as men, right? Because if a woman has her stuff together, she has her life together, she has everything going for her, she knows where she ranks on the looks scale. She has a right to choose the best man that deserves it. Just like we that earn our money, that earn our money and build ourselves up to become the men that we want to become. We know what choices we deserve. We know what we want stepping out of our car. So I give that same power to the women. Now, the only thing the women have to do is be realistic that when it comes to a certain time, age, and factor, accept that you're not that woman anymore and that you have to adjust for the market. It's just the way it is.
Is there any other politically correct way you can say that?
Why?
Look.
No. Wait a minute. You can't make bad news sound pretty. It's still bad news.
No. It's not even about bad news.
Let's just be honest.
We need to stop this politically correct nonsense. We need to start telling the truth.
The truth.
Sometimes,
Kevin,
sometimes you can take medicine and give it a little sugar with it, and sometimes you need to put a little castor oil in it to shock your body so you can feel better. This is medicine. You understand what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is,
but Kevin, understand one thing though. I just want to really understand one thing. Their looks gets us over there. What comes out of their mouth determines if we'll stay. They need to know that. Okay. We're visual. You're gonna get the conversation out of us. Right. But if what comes out of your mouth doesn't determine us to stay, that's okay. We put you in a category. That's fine. And if you're okay with that, now I'll go.
Okay. I was just saying, can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what I was saying is that's one thing that Kevin Samuels got himself in trouble with a whole lot is he was making valid talking points, right? I think we can all agree on that. He was making definitely valid talking points, but however, his delivery was straight shit. You know what I'm saying?
Who cares?
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
Because
okay, fellas.
Go ahead.
Are we trying to heal or are we not trying to heal?
So I ain't healing nobody.
Wait.
Let him finish. I'm gonna go after Chris on this right here. I hate Cabby, but we're gonna talk about this.
Here's the thing, and here's where I am.
No, let him finish his point, Chris.
Oh, go ahead, Cabby. I'm sorry.
So what I'm saying is okay, we were all in agreement where we said, okay, we have to do this thing together. Men and women, especially black men and black women, we have to do this thing together. We have to find some type of balance because as of right now, we are complete enemies to one another. You know what I'm saying? Not me and Chris and Vic right now. And Antoine, I'm hoping that one day you'll find the love of your life. You know what I'm saying? But as far as we see, we'll say on social media, there is a disconnect between black men, black women, right? So to bring that connection back, it's going to take, I guess, less Castro is what you were saying, Chris, and more honey. Is what I'm saying. How do you guys
Nope.
feel about that? No.
Now you want
And
us
here's
to
why.
lie.
Y'all,
And
y'all
here's
go
why I
ahead
say
and talk.
that.
I'm gonna finish it up. Y'all
Now
go
you
ahead.
want us to lie.
Wait, and it's not even about lying.
Everybody mute
Here's
their mic but
Look
Chris.
about lying.
here's why I say no. I read a lot of Jordan Peterson. I listen to a lot of Jordan Peterson, and he said something that made a lot of sense. We should not give a shit about being offensive if we're speaking the truth, simply because speaking runs the risk of being offensive. I could say hello to you the wrong way and you could get pissed off. So why am I sugarcoating how I really feel at a gut level? Let's be real and let's be honest. This is why me and my lady get along perfectly. This is probably why you and your lady get along perfectly. And this is probably why Vic and his lady get along perfectly, because we know. And let's be all the way clear about this. We as a people need to understand the difference between talking about a specific behavior and talking about that person, because they're not the same. So many people have their behavior so intertwined in who they are that if you say something, they take it as an insult, when really I love you too much to allow you to do this. So I need to be honest with you, because I can't tell you that I love you and lie to you at the same time. Those two things cannot exist in the same space. They can't. I can't lie to you if I love you. So I got to be all the way real with you, especially if I want you to be all the way real with me. There's an equivalent exchange that has to happen. I got to, like we said before, man, we got to create that space. I got to create that space for you to come to me whenever you need to say anything. And I have to be that man to show you what it's like and not make it seem like I'm attacking you as a person. You just did some dumb shit right now that I need to talk to you about. You're not a bad person. Just fix this dumb shit and we can go on about our business. Now, if you get offended by me talking about this dumb shit because you think I'm saying you dumb, then why are you even here? Take the L and move on, because there's nothing good that's going to come from that. There's nothing good that's going to come from that conversation. So no, we shouldn't be giving people bad news with honey and all of this other nonsense. We should be completely and totally honest, especially since that's what our reflection has been asking for as long as we've been having this stupid ass fight.
Yeah, so that's not gonna work.
Hey, Antoine, you go unmute your mic and you go ahead.
Kevin, all this heal shit. I mean, come on, man. That is such a pussified thing to say. What healing? I'm doing my part. I'm healed. I don't need madness to come into my life. No, I'm not healing shit. If I have to try to heal you, you are not the one for me, because I will not entertain chaos. Right? You better be healed. You better be done with your past. You better be done with the shit. You better come to me whole. And if I even see a crack in the shell, it's okay. Go back and heal. But that whole heal and I need to get my life together, and come on.
That's one of those buzzwords that I
okay,
can't stand.
Yeah, the
I'm talking
buzzword
about,
healed.
okay, so what I'm talking about when I say heal, I'm talking about as far as men and women. Like I said, in the way that we look at each other, in the way that we view each other right now. It's like, I'm not gonna say we, because I'm not in that conversation, but I know how single men are viewing women. I know how single women are viewing men. It's unhealthy. It's very toxic. Doesn't look good at all, and it's going the wrong fucking direction real quick. So the thing is that we can really sit here and say, okay, let's say it how it needs to be said. Well, okay, we could say that, but once again, going back to natural, the natural reaction or the natural mentality of a person, women don't, they don't do well with that type of speak, or that type of speech. They don't do well at all with that type of
Because
speech.
they could relate to it.
So are we supposed to take them out of their nature and talk down to them in order to get something out of them? Like, I mean, you kind of,
There's a difference between talking down to a woman and being honest.
okay.
Y'all
And
let
if
me
you
know
can
what's
relate to
happening.
it,
Totally
that's her.
different.
I'm just watching. Just give
And
me
that's
time.
why I said earlier, it's not talking down to you if I'm talking about a specific behavior. It's not. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this stuff that you're doing. Now, like I said, if this behavior is so intertwined with who you are that you can't tell the difference, then I don't need to be with you, because that means that this behavior is going to continue, because at an unconscious level or a subconscious level, you think that this is really who you are, and it ain't. At least it's not supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to keep doing this dumb shit, especially if you want me in your life like you say you do. And I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you if I love you. It just doesn't work because at a gut level, I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And that's what I think an alpha male is. Somebody who's all the way honest, but understands that that honesty comes with a price. It does. It comes with a price. You might have to take a L. Take the L. You understand what I'm saying? Take the L.
And Kevin,
Take the L, man.
They're only getting upset because they can relate to what he said.
That's it.
If I'm a thin girl looking good and you call fat women this, I know you ain't talking about me.
And no, you're incorrect about that. You're definitely incorrect about that. So I'm gonna tell you something. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you a secret about this. This is what I was taught by friend girls of mine. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a secret about that. Those gorgeous women that you speak of have the lowest self-esteem amongst any set of women out here. So even when you say fat, that one that's 126 or 125 wishes she was 105, Antoine. You know what I'm saying? So when yes, it is, dude. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You need to study women.
No,
you really need to study women, bro.
You're talking about women. You're talking about women that don't know their worth. I'm talking about women that know their worth.
That's almost 90% of them, bro.
Oh, would you stop that?
That's almost 90% of them, bro.
Women that got themselves together.
Antoine, listen to me.
Holy crap, you guys underestimate women, boy.
Okay, no, we don't underestimate.
No,
I just know the propaganda that has been thrown at women about their beauty and about everything about themselves that this Western society has thrown at women. I know exactly what the fuck they did, and I know exactly how these women are feeling right now because they've told me. I know these things. They've told me. Plenty of them have told me what they feel. Gorgeous women, still low self-esteem, very low self-esteem.
More women like Kevin Samuels that didn't.
Can I say
women that liked him that didn't?
Can I say something, please? I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna actually, I gotta go to sleep because I got a 4:30 a.m. gym session in the morning, and I can't be late because my trainer will whoop my ass. She is the only person on this planet that I'm afraid of. I am going to say this, and I am going to mean this. One of the real big delusions that we really need to get over is that social media and real life are the same thing, and they are not. A lot of y'all have a bunch of social media talking points that really don't translate into your real life. You just see it all the time because you constantly logged into your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever page, and they're constantly feeding you this stuff. And you really think that this nonsense is real. Social media and the real world are not the same. In fact, if you actually unplugged and went out into the real world, you would see how dope it is. And you would see that people actually are real cool. People are cool. The real world is cool. I love the real world. This is why I hate social media and why I'm not on it. And I can't wait until they actually run roughshod through this horse shit and we actually get back to real life, real conversations, real people in the real world.
Man, you know,
I gotta go. I'm sorry, Vic. I didn't mean to come on. I'm sorry. I know
it's perfect.
I'm sorry.
Look,
I'm sorry,
that's what this platform is about, man. It's for men to have a conversation with each other about realistic expectations based on where we are in life. You know what I'm saying? They up here talking, you know what I'm saying? Like they giving you your flowers right now. Preach, angry man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm humble.
So like what I want to capture before we get off before you get out of here, you know, is that Cavi, there's no nice way to deliver the news that you're not going in the right direction, because we've been doing it the same way for this long. And what does it look like when you have to turn the corner? You know what I'm saying? Because we've gotten this. The conversation we're having right now is based on everything we try to do, and either you got what you either got what you can afford, or you still shopping,
and it ain't got nothing to do with money.
It ain't got nothing to do with money, and so the same type of energy for correction as a man. Like a man has to father a situation, whether he knows his father or not, because if nobody steps up and makes the hard right decisions and tells you know what I'm saying, the person that he's responsible for, that he took the responsibility of, that they're fucking up, then who can they accept it from? Like, here's the truth. If you've been in a relationship with someone, in and out, monogamous, up and down, but good days, bad days, if you can't look at your partner and tell them that they fucking up and they can't accept that they fucking up from you, then that's the person that you don't need to be with. And
take the
everybody's
L.
got their own individual problems. Cavi, you got your own problems that's different from your wife's problems. Antoine's gonna have his own individual problems, no matter who he's with. I got my own. I go to therapy twice a month. Chris, in a relationship, he still got to work on himself because
I'm still pissed off.
Yeah, and so like this channel is basically open group therapy because we're not sitting in barbershops. You know what I'm saying, like that. And this is coming from the perspective of every man is on his purpose, focus, discipline. And if you discipline, that means everybody that you're responsible for got to mirror your discipline. So if they fucking up, you got to be able to tell them they fucking up, and they got to take the L. Because guess what? If you were at work, or if your significant other was at work, and their leadership and their supervisors can tell them they fucking up and they're gonna lose their job, then how come you can't say the same thing if you're gonna be responsible for them?
And I love you.
And I love you. You see what I'm saying?
And I love you.
Like this is why I say a man has to be able to father a situation, because like, especially if you believe in a higher power, like you have to take God's criticism in different ways. You have to look for his criticism of you, right? If you believe in it, then why is your wife exempt from that? Why is your significant other that you're responsible for not mirroring your discipline? I think what I'm saying is, I think a man needs to be sufficient enough to where he can say, stop, everybody come to the table, we having a meeting. But if you're not that guy, then you got to work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just like if she ain't that woman, then you need to choose somebody else. Everybody has to submit to a higher level of information, and the information ain't gonna always come pretty. Just like if the doctor tell you got a significant situation that's gonna require you to endure a certain type of treatment, ain't no nice way to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Punch the doctor.
Women do not get a pass for that for me, because I have to be able to sustain myself based off other people's criticism if it's in a professional manner. Should you not be carrying your relationship the same way? Should you not get lazy? Like, you can't get lazy with your kids like that. You know what I'm saying? And she can't get lazy in the relationship with you and your provision. So at some point, you have to be able to accept criticism. You know what I'm saying? And some days you got to cook, and some days you got to wait on your plate. But at some point, you can't criticize nothing if your ass ain't in the kitchen cooking. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, not you actually serving the food, but if you're responsible for the behind the scenes work that make the relationship valuable to be in, and if you're not doing your job, you don't have any leverage to criticize. But if you're doing your job and you're creating an opportunity for people to heal even more in your own space, because you should be healed to a certain degree, but you still got work to do, because ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? And situations ain't perfect, the message ain't coming perfect, the world ain't perfect, your job ain't perfect, your kids ain't perfect, then I don't give a shit if you don't like the fucking delivery. Take the part that applies and use it. Because when you go to work, you don't go tell your boss, I don't like the way you said that to me. They're going to tell you to clock out and go see HR.
Well, your boss is going to say it to you in a professional level, professional way. You know, they're not going to, say crazy shit because they can get fired their damn self.
But that's the point, though, right? If you say it to them in a nice way and they blow you off, at what point how do you assert yourself after they've blown you off? Because that's human nature, right? Yeah, they're not taking it serious. Like, you tell them, say, hey, you need to fix this and fix that, and they're like, oh, yeah, I get to it. And then, but in reality, you already logged it in 5 or 6 times. You're really identifying a pattern, because like, men don't nag. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do on the spot correction every time you screw something up, because that makes you apprehensive. That creates, you know what I'm saying, a different level of anxiety and insecurity. What you have to be able to do is evaluate and see a pattern, and to be able to say, hey, I noticed that you do this, you do that, and you need to be concise with it, because you can't give them no wiggle room. You know what I'm saying? because it's really that serious. The older you get, the more serious these smaller things are. Like when you're young, they're not serious because you don't know. But now that you know and you got something to compare it to, what are you going to do to offset the catastrophe? Because this is about probability versus possibility. What's the probability that your marriage can be or your relationship can be successful without you standing for yourself? Yeah, you the work that a man has to do has to involve finding better ways to deliver the criticism. But there's a big difference between criticism and critique. If you're critiquing, you're teaching. If you're criticizing, it's not going to be received.
I don't know what the hell just happened there.
Oh no, he just locked up.
He just instructive. Hold on. Okay.
Okay, you back. You back.
Am I back? Okay.
Yeah, you back.
Okay. What I'm saying is a lot of people do not understand the difference between critique and criticism. There's a big difference in being in charge and in actually being a leader. There's a big difference between authority and control. When you're from a certain seat, I agree with Cavi to a degree. You have to have a degree of tact to deliver the message. But I also agree with Chris that you have to be able to take the L. And as a leader, you might be fucking up. And Antoine, what he's saying, yes, people got to do their own work before they get to the relationship. And really, truthfully, the older we get, the more pertinent it is that you ask, hey, are you seeing some kind of therapy? What are you doing for self-improvement? To just kind of get an idea of it. Because if you don't ask that, then you get in a relationship and you realize she crazy because she don't want to go talk to nobody else about her feelings. And you're going to be her trauma counselor, and you're not licensed to do that.
Okay, I get you. I get it. So,
because like, doesn't everybody have to unscramble? But doesn't but hold up, before you get into it, doesn't everybody have to unscramble their own emotions so they can communicate what they're communicating, right?
Of course, I'll agree with that.
Then why doesn't she have to do that?
Well, she does. She does have.
But the thing is, so if she does, and we agree on that, what's the trigger to get her to see that she owes the relationship the same level of personal accountability that you're representing?
Of course, she has to do everything that you're talking about and own that same level of accountability. I get that.
Yeah.
The question I was going to have for all three of you gentlemen is, who here has sat and watched a marriage that's lasted for 50 years?
Me.
You've done it. You've done it.
Yep.
What did you guys witness from the male side that you noticed? Be honest. What did you
go ahead,
notice?
Chris. I know you got to go in a minute. Go ahead.
What I noticed, he always made sure that she did not have to worry.
That's a good one. That's definitely good.
Always made sure that everything was okay, from the house to the kids to the cars to the money to the extra stuff. He always made sure that they were all right. She did not really have to worry about anything. And if she brought something to him, he was a benevolent dictator because she was valued counsel, meaning this: at the end of the day, he's responsible for everything, but she got to say too. You understand what I'm saying? Both parties submit. I submit to taking care of everything. You submit to taking care of me so I can take care of everything. That's what I witnessed. And that's what I try to model what I'm doing after. I don't want my lady to have to really worry. Because with worry comes insecurity.
What did you witness in the form of your grandfather or great-grandfather's delivery?
Straightforward to the point, but not in a demeaning, girl, you're a bad person kind of way. But he was still straightforward and to the point.
See, you know what I'm saying? It's the delivery.
But
you don't have to
no, it wasn't. It was not the delivery. It was the fact that my grandmother, my great aunts, they all understood that when he says something, he ain't talking about me. He's talking about what I'm doing. This man loves me and he is taking care of me. So he needs stuff from me. So he has the right to actually say what's on his mind, because I'm going to come to him with what's on my mind. That's what I mean. It's not about delivery being nice about it. It was just the fact that he said, hey, I need you to do this. Chop, chop.
You're addressing the behavior. We're not addressing the person.
We
We're
are
addressing the behavior. We're not talking about the character. The behavior is the behavior.
right.
Like if you don't fit the behavior, then it don't apply. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the thing. If you're not gonna talk to a murderer the same way you're gonna talk to somebody that jaywalked. And so like,
and the consequences are different.
and that's exactly why. You know
The
what I'm saying? Like
consequences are different.
because automatically that's the difference between a ticket and a sentence. You know what I'm saying? So like if you brought somebody into your space to take care of them, they got to listen to you. Now, as leader, yeah, you have to be tactful in telling somebody that they need to improve for sure. You know what I'm saying? Tactful is what I'm saying. And men have thick skin for a reason. And when I say thick skin, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the emotional thick skin.
Absolutely.
We supposed to be able to take criticism. But earlier today, me and my wife was watching you remember that movie A League of Their Own with
Right.
Tom
With
Hanks?
Tom Hanks?
Yeah,
Right.
he
Ain't
said
no
there's
crying in baseball.
Ain't no crying in baseball, right?
Mhm.
So like he got chastised for the way he chastised her. But if you watch the movie, over time he found a better way to communicate. We're the first generation to try to figure this shit out. So
And
everybody got to take a L.
And we're doing it. Majority of us are doing it based off of stuff we ain't never seen
And
before.
we-
So it's on the job training.
We OJT, bro. Like my like so in my family, like my mom and dad were married for 42 years before my pops passed. My granddad, he was married to my grandmama for it was well over 50 years before both of them, before she passed and before he passed, right? And that's on my dad's side of the family. On my mom's side of the family, it's more the single mother side. So I've had good models to be able to compare between the both. And I'm the oldest grandson on both sides. And I tell you this, all the women listened. You know what I'm saying? And all the men were able to assert themselves, because the women that was in the care of the men underneath that men's provision, they had to look at like, you can't go get better than what you got. And especially if he ain't being abusive, yeah, he ain't gonna have the right words. Well, hell, you didn't have the right behavior. So like you can't exempt them, because they gonna have the same conversation when they talk to their kids, right? They need to be able to take the same, and they need to be able to take the same level.
Okay. You're saying exempt.
I gotta go.
Exempt. All I was saying simply is, well, like I said, when you're critiquing, right? From what you said, you're critiquing. When you're critiquing, you have, in my opinion, you should be critiquing in a constructive manner, in a well-articulated manner. You know what I'm saying?
Chris, before you finish, Chris, go ahead. I don't want to hold you. We appreciate you for making an
All
appearance.
right, Chris.
Hey, this is real good. I hope we can, connect next week again and do this more. But like, thank you, sir. Thank you.
We'll be in touch anyway, because we have to converse. We'll be in touch.
Yes, sir.
Javi, and you know what? I remember you because you was on Uncle Junior's show too. I remember you.
Definitely.
I remember you. You all be.
I bring the noise, man.
and
you're
you
a professional troll, man. That's why I ain't got my cigar and my wine.
And I appreciate that. I truly do. I appreciate that. But see, you got to see the angry guy.
Yeah, right. And I like that. And it's definitely I plan on definitely having some debates with you down the road, man, because it's a dope thing.
I'm with it. And the only reason I'm saying I'm with it is because we're not arguing. It's a conversation trying to figure some stuff out. And that's why I love conversations like this.
Right.
Trying to figure some stuff out.
Right. And that's what I was trying to get to. Right. That's what I was trying to get to you guys. I was just saying, I'm not saying that you can't critique or tell a woman when she's in the wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like I said, there has to be a well-articulated way that you say that to a woman for her to receive that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question?
Okay, Chris, you can go ahead and roll, man.
Because see,
hey, you see them blowing his mouth off, man.
Do you get it now? Do you understand why I'm always angry? Do you get it now?
Yeah. Look, he talking through his teeth. Hey, Chris, I'm gonna holler at you, bro.
All right, man. Y'all be good.
Yeah.
So, Antoine, in what way did you see, men and women?
Don't adjust. I'm about to move it back out, so you
Let's go.
ain't got
Let's
to.
go. What way did you see men and women interact in? I'm guessing I'm hearing your accent. Islander, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. What part?
Trinidad.
Okay. How did you see your parents or your grandparents interact with each other, men and women? Did you see a man when a woman made a mistake harshly come after a woman, or did he, have a cool mind and talk to the woman in the voice that I would talk to her?
I would say this. Like the main thing I noticed from 50-year marriages, and I can go by my parents, which is more than 50, and I can go by the close friends that I have around me, is that they respect each other's role. My friend respects his wife's role as a wife. He doesn't interfere with it. He doesn't judge it. He doesn't critique it. He steps out of that role because that's where his wife is. And they respect each other's role. She respects him as the man of the house. She respects the role that he does. She respects what he does as a husband. And it never got crossed. The only time it got crossed is when she tried to step into foreign territory she knows nothing about. That's the whole point in all this. That is the whole point. Communication, but know your place. Now you're saying delivery. That's why no shit has ever been changed. How do you tell a woman she's fat? Listen, you got to lose the weight. There's no pretty way. How do you tell a woman, you know what? Sometimes your mouth gets us into trouble. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
You've heard your father call your mom fat?
I heard my father say, listen, honey, I love what you're cooking, but you know what? This got to change because look at this.
Delivery.
What? My mother goes, what do you mean? And wait, my mother said, what do you mean? In her accent, what do you mean? I'm getting fat? He goes, well, let's just say I can't see the stove no more. Yes, woman. Yes, you're getting fat.
That's delivery.
How much clearer you want it?
That's delivery. You see how genius that was, brother? That's genius.
But that's the way I would do it. But today they call that body positivity and they justify it. They justify it. Right. And that's what pisses me off. Women don't call other women out. They just justify it. I don't know about you. I don't want my wife wearing spandex all the time.
Right.
I don't want a dress on her looking like a curtain. I don't want that shit. Right. And I'm going to be honest with you, but she's going to know how I communicate because we're going to have that conversation. We're going to she's going to know what I'm thinking. She knows not to mess with my art. She knows not to step into the room. She knows what I like to eat she's not going to have to question me in those areas. And I don't think if a woman knows her man, she knows his favorite meal.
So being that you said Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at the dating pool in Trinidad?
Brother, I would not even bring a woman from Trinidad.
Oh,
she would be because I would take her away from her all of what she knows. It's not all of what she knows for the years that I'm looking at a woman like that, for the age that I want her at. That's all she knows. The homesick that she would bring, that would come on her, would be something I could never satisfy.
Oh, okay. Understand.
And I'm being realistic to that. That's why I say I'm being realistic in the choices that I want to make. But like I said, women today aren't wives. They don't need to be wives anymore because they got their own. So it's coming together. It's really coming together. There's, look, how many women saying they don't care about a big wedding anymore? I love a big wedding. I think it's cool, right? But I love an intimate wedding now too. Now I'm at the stage now where I love the justice of the peace, or same day marriage something, or quick in Vegas, because with the economy the way it is, there's more you can do with your money, and it's not about because all that really happens is you invite 200 people to eat and drink.
Oh, believe me, I know all about that.
Yeah. Exactly. So there's that dynamic that you have to. That's why I said, man, the delusion is how people are going about it. I find they're not realistic in their options. There could be a lot more couples out there. Personally, I think between the hatred between the black man and the black woman runs too deep. They'll never come back together. The passport bros have started. They don't tolerate it. They don't tolerate it anymore. They don't need to tolerate it anymore. They have more options. Social media has shown them more options. So the whole coming together thing is done. That to me, that's a done deal. I don't see it happening.
I like the multiple perspectives, because somewhere in the middle of all of this, right, there's something that makes sense for people based on their own individual walks of life. And this is why it's so important to not take away anybody's opinions or nothing like that. You guys have done a good job at that, because, man, all of us got a view of the world that's based on our own individual experiences, right? So when it comes down to it, like Cavi, you know what I'm saying, brought up the question of, you know, like what type of marriages have we witnessed or been the children of in so many different ways too. And it just all varies, because when you throw in geography, like you're from Trinidad, like everything down there is traditional. So I get exactly why you wouldn't want to date a woman from the island, because they're super connected to their people. And you spend a lot of time, you know what I'm saying, doing a lot of reassurance, you know what I'm saying, that you really, really can't be ultimately responsible for, until that woman accepts that, you know what I'm saying, what her role is, you know what I'm saying, in the marriage that you would have with her, right? So your dynamic of meeting someone is significantly different than most people, you know. I'll say this, ultimately, when it comes down to it, you know, like we removed all of the kids, the cars, the jobs, the money, and everything in this conversation, right? And ultimately, all you can have is what you can afford. And it don't have anything to do with money. It has something to do with the intangible resources. So like if you're a man and you want a relationship, you have to be qualified, not just to get in a relationship, but to keep the relationship going.
Absolutely.
And so you got to have some intangibles that reassure your significant other that you have their best interests in mind, in alignment with the relationship, under the terms in which that you're in it. Now that right there it varies from person to person, you know what I'm saying, and it just varies for markedly different reasons, you know what I'm saying, because like if she, like you highlighted, if you got a woman that has a certain creativity, you don't want to pull her out of her creative space, because you value people being able to access their creativity. That's one of the major things that kills relationships, because nobody is having their creativity acknowledged. They're having their creativity admonished instead. You know what I'm saying? Because you need your person to be the best version of themselves, correct?
Yep.
And if what they do makes them the best version of themselves, like you have to create space for that person to have what they need. Because like Antoine, if you was you wouldn't be in a relationship where you couldn't paint. You're a painter.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't be in a relationship that wouldn't afford me the opportunity to lock myself in my office and write.
Exactly.
I'm on my phone a lot because I'm always writing on my notes and I'm always putting out information to
see. So you're gonna. I'll even go as far, and Chris, remember. I mean, Chris, sorry, Kevin, my bad. Kevin, remember, the only reason I would get married is for kids.
Okay,
that's it. There would be nothing else would provide for me outside of that. That's why I want to get married. Okay. So I'm dating with a purpose. I'm entertaining with a need, but I'm dating with a purpose. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. So I'm very strict. I'm not compromising that in any way, shape, or form. So these questions that I ask her are meaningful questions that tell me, okay, this might be someone with serious potential.
Yeah, I think the questions were dope. I didn't see anything wrong with your questions. Your questions were dope, and they needed definitely be asked. You know, especially when you have that purpose. As far as you say, I want a child. That's a deep purpose, and you definitely want to keep your family and your house intact for that child. You feel what I'm saying? Right. I get it.
Yeah. So it's and I don't, and like I said, I don't blame a woman that puts herself in a good position in life, that I have the right to tell her, well, you know, you're not going to be working anymore. Well, you know, I'm not doing all. No, because I know how important it is to her, because she spent her life doing it while she was waiting for the man to come into her life. Right. So it's us coming together to do the best thing for the child. Because after you get kids, it's all about the kids anyway. It ain't about you and her.
Oh yeah.
So I'm already in that. That's my frame of mind. But I let her know from the get-go, like, you know, and I'm not going to waste your time. This is what I'm looking for. So and like I said, I'm on the phone with you 2 days. And after 2 days, if we're not FaceTiming, there's no need for us to carry this any further.
Yeah, I think you might have to drop at age of 28.
They're too desperate. They're too. I was going to say something, but I'm like, let me just shut up.
So I want to do our viewers the justice because they've been really active in the comments, and I'm gonna work from I'm gonna feature some of the ladies' comments, right? Let's see here. Boom. How you guys feel about this? From Jesse Williams. I think the mistake of trying to control someone is the wrong thing. If we learn to listen to one another, things will be different and stay in the lane that was meant for you. I personally think, but before I let you guys speak on it, I think learning from one another is something else. Applying what you have learned is the follow through. There's a lack of follow through. I think we hear each other. I think we know how to talk. People confuse communication. They confuse talking with effective communication. After we determine who's responsible for what within that conversation, what is our collective plan to create the space for the considerations that the other person believes is important to the relationship? So what you guys got for that?
I think what I see from that is, you see, I want to say it in that. Yes, she's right on communication is key. Listen, I think that don't hold back in the beginning and don't try to tell her the things she wants to hear. You got to tell her the things she needs to hear about you. And I believe that you should give her full disclosure of how you are as a man and what you expect, because she needs to know what she's walking into, because she's only going to get upset later on when she finds out you're not who you are. So communication is key in the beginning. You have to have these hard conversations. And I don't even think they're hard. I just call them honest, to be honest with you. Honest conversations. Either way, I'm going to see you without your makeup. Either way, you're going to see what's in my bank account. Either way, I'm going to provide for what you need. Either way, I'm going to tell you it's too expensive. I can't afford it. These are important if you're looking to build a life with the woman now. I'm not talking about dating, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking to build a life with the woman, this is her. This is what she presents. And asking her, what do you bring to the table? Well, you should have some idea of what you expect her to bring to the table, and you should communicate that to her. It's great to ask her, but you should tell her what you expect a woman to bring into the table, and see if it matches yours. And if it doesn't, ask her why. Like, I mean, I don't see why that's so hard. You can't make bad news sound pretty. It's still bad news.
Right.
So
I get that. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
What you got, Kevin?
In my response to that, you're right. You can't control a woman or control anyone. A woman can't control a man. Man can't control a woman. It's definitely wrong, because you're always going to have resentment behind that. Pretty much controlling someone is putting someone in a cage. So if you put someone in a cage for too long, of course, they're going to want to break out of that cage, get the hell out the cage, and cause, mischief, pretty much. So as far as like, if we learn to listen to one another, that's a huge comment, sister, because that inevitably is what it all boils down to. And Vic, you made a great point in saying that, are you having effective communication? Communicating and effective communication is two totally different things. So effective communication is communication to which you can learn from, or there's a direction to where you can go with that effective communication. Just talking to each other is not going to work. So sister, you're completely correct about that. Learn to listen to one another, and things will definitely be different. And I think that's really where a lot of relationships and marriages go wrong, is because each one of them are trying to speak, and usually they're speaking loudly. No one's listening. It's just a argumentative, war, pretty much. And it just gets worse and worse as time goes on. Right. Exactly.
Like this is like relationships about putting your ego in the right place. Like, I wrote something previously about having a dangerous need to be right when you don't know what the whole picture is dangerous. Like, a need to be right is very dangerous in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's unhealthy for the relationship. Obviously, if it's unhealthy for the relationship, it's unhealthy for the people that's in it. Everybody's got to feel heard. But the most important part of what I'm saying is that people have always said communication is key. And then we talked about being able to deliver the message. But until you can apply and evaluate and audit, your communication don't matter. If effective communication isn't just about listening, it's about applying the key points from the discussion and to change your behavior. Change behavior is highly regarded as the best apology, right? Well, change behavior is the best way to say I'm on your team. Okay, which means you got to fix you. Whatever's blocking you from being a better team player in the relationship, you need to take your ass to therapy. You need to go ask somebody professionally, why can I accept, apply, and why can't I accept what's being said and apply the pertinent details to what it is? And if you want to lean on the subjective, you're really playing in victimhood mode. If you lean on your emotions all the time when you say I feel, that means you're a slave to your emotions. The relationship cannot function off of one person's emotions. And a woman's emotions cannot trump the relationship, just like a man's bravado cannot trump the relationship. So you got to have a discussion about whose ego is healthy for whatever specific situation you're in. You know what I'm saying? Because there's things that women can do for a man that a man can't do for himself without a certain level of conflict. You know what I'm saying? Because the man has to be able to assume a fatherly role, especially if he believes in a higher power, right? Because when you don't have the answers, don't you sit down and pray, journal about it, or whatever you do, and you try to figure it out, right? And then you wait for the guidance to come to you before you open your mouth, right? That's the same thing that women have to do when they're caught up in their emotions. You need to go talk to somebody, unscramble your feelings, and hear what your significant other is trying to protect you from. Because nobody's trying to control anybody. I think people are just trying to protect each other in a certain type of way and get what they want from it, unless you in a relationship willingly with a manipulative person. Now, that's something else, because relationships are reflective, right? So if you got somebody that don't respect you, it's because you have allowed yourself to endure a level of disrespect to where it's the norm. So at some point, it comes back to, what am I communicating that's not getting absorbed? I say people don't miscommunicate. Some people miscommunicate and some people misinterpret. So it don't matter how much communication you're doing if the other person doesn't speak your language. And who's the sovereign territory in the relationship? Because the man has to be sovereign. He has thick skin, emotional thick skin, to be able to deal with however a woman might deliver her message, no matter how it comes out, right? But you have to be in your space enough to be able to say, this person ain't coming at me in no disrespectful or hurtful way. They just don't know the words. And you have to teach them your language so they could deliver their criticism or critique in an tactful way. And then when you get that, you take a little bit more consideration in what you say before you open your mouth. You take a little bit more consideration. That this just happens in a natural, rhythm. And it don't happen in a year. It don't happen in 2 years. It's really dependent on where you are individually in your life, emotionally, and how you dealing with shit that ain't got nothing to do with your other partner. It ain't, because sometimes you can walk around and be like, you could be in a mood because you might have some shit that's going on in your own family that she can't do nothing about. But if she can read it and you can't communicate it, it's going to affect things.
Absolutely.
But men have to understand, though. We can all agree that the women today are not like the women of the past, right? They're not home cooking and doing that whole thing and like leave it to Beaver. Let's be real. That's not ever coming back. Women pay taxes today with their own job. They have their own accountants. They have their own lives. And when I think the best thing a woman could do is be independent, in a sense that she better be able to take care of herself, because she should. It's called being an adult today. It's not like before where, you marry your daughter off, or, you arrange marriages, or, well, some countries, but you know what I mean. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
We have to be realistic that women don't need us like that anymore. I mean, I don't understand why men find that so like, I can't believe. Why are you getting upset over that? What, you think they're going to wait around for you to get your shit together?
Right.
I don't understand. Women need to do that shit because that shows me if you can get your shit together and come together with me or any other man, because you should be looking for that because that's what you worked for and you're an adult. It's not impressive. It's not impressive to me. It shows me responsibility and you're able to commit to something because you committed to making your life the best life you have now. And that's impressive. And there's no such thing as a man being intimidated by women. That's ridiculous. What are you possibly doing that's going to intimidate me?
Let me say something right there with that for the audience. Hang on. Men are not intimidated by anyone that cannot choke them to death with their bare hands. Nobody is intimidated by what you do to pad your resume. Your profession doesn't matter, and the respect that you get from other people doesn't always translate into what a man respects within the confines of a relationship. Nobody is intimidated. No man is intimidated by anyone that just cannot delete them with their bare hands. So that's what I wanted to say in regards to that, because we take too many words and run too far with them. You know what I'm saying? And we distort what it is, because if we're in a relationship, why are we talking about intimidation?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
It don't make any sense. So that's the part I want to say. Cavi, I want you to leave us with some closing thoughts before I end the show, and then we're gonna meet backstage, and then we'll discuss further. Okay?
Damn, you hit me like, oh, that was crazy right there. I thought we was gonna keep on going. Then you just said, "Hey, hit me with some closing thoughts." How the hell?
He got me at that one too.
I tell you what, because hey, that's what it's like. Hey, when I'm watching the viewership.
Yeah.
And we already been on for 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah, it's probably going down.
You see what I'm saying? So so I want to give you a chance, you know what I'm saying, to say your piece.
Basically, you know, I felt like the show today was awesome, and at the end of the day, just learning more about, you know, listening to one another, and communicating. I like what you said, Vic, the effective communication. That's really what it is, because if it's not effective, it's not even communication, to be honest with you. You know, it's just screaming back and forth, and everyone's trying to get their talking point, like you said, an ego type thing. So effective communication is definitely important. I think that's how, you know, a lot of people, or men and women, can maintain relationships. That's how they can maintain marriages, you know. So it works. It honestly works, man. So I enjoyed talking today, man.
Well, man, hey, for the folks that participated, that was really active in the chat, I greatly appreciate you guys dedicating some time to watching the show. You know, Cavi and Antoine, I greatly appreciate you guys, you know what I'm saying, always having great exchanges, and respecting the platform. This is what Accountable Masculinity is all about. And with that being said, this has been the Code Talk Evening Show. Solutions only. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and hit the like button and follow. Please leave your feedback in the comments. Make sure you hit up the super chat, leave a donation to support the platform. Your chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Your chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Go cop the shirt, visit the merch store, shop with Accountable Masculinity, and support the platform.